conquering Sepoy from the Darley stable is only 9 minutes away from reappearing here, and he carries the weight of expectation
around and looking a bit cultish here, but as soon as Kieran got on his back, he settled down.
He's made good improvement with his break, but
So Sepoy again being joined by Vatican on the outside. They go together. Golden Arts are 3 deep. They're on the swing for home now. In behind them, Grand Britannia. And then Awaken the Dragon and Snitsum now. Sepoy coming down to the 200 metres. McAvoy just nursing him at the moment. He's 3/4. Golden Archer coming with his run. Vatican dropped off. Sepoy a length and a half. McAvoy's kidding to them. Nickley shakes him up and a little bit of acceleration, and away goes Sepoy, and he wins by 3 and plenty left. Golden Archer second. Grand Britannia third. Delago's Lad ran on from last for 4, and then Vatican. In behind those to finish.
Correct, Greg. No curse of the Golden Slipper winner this year. Just that last 200 metres was absolutely awesome by Sepoy, showing some quality and won't much longer.
It's arrogant, Bruce. It's arrogant. He's winning with ease. When you look at that race, he was never under pressure anywhere. He had his ease pricked. As soon as he put a length on him, he just pricked the ease and just idled down and still won by 3.5. Exciting horse.
Main get bloody good horse.
yeah, well, that's probably the simplest way to put it, Bruce. Half a second slower than Satin Shoe's first 600. Still ran faster overall time than her. I mean, he did that all his 2-year-old season, the same scenario. He does it again. The other thing he did his whole 2-year-old season was run some of the fastest sectionals of the day. Not many 2-year-olds do that against older horses. He was doing it. He's turned up as a 3-year-old, done it again. 11.62 last 200. The fastest of the day was 11.5. So, you know, he's too good for his own age, and hopefully we get to see him against the open age thing.
Well, that might for the running of the feature race, Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes, and there's a tale to be told here, and it's in the betting ring. Here's the tote market for you. Who got you tote favourite at 220? Flick over to the other page here, or there's
For the bottom one, Lights of Heaven. Now, this market has just turned totally on its ear here. This will be our fourth. We're going for it. You can now get $2.60. Don't worry about all this stuff in the middle here. Let's get down to Lights of Heaven. It's been $2.40 into $1.90. So the race in 2 in the marketplace has become a race in 1.
The side a length and a half in front. Prince Obama and Lights of Heaven box seating. Just needs that little stroke of luck now. Telemaster her outside, and Murian coming on very deep. Being tracked up by I'm Imposing, and then Time Matters. Vesper strung for a run. Nubigochu's got away from the rail now, about 6 lengths away from the leader, and then Budai and Guest Wing. I'm Imposing on an early move out wide, has raced up to tackle the leaders, Prince Obama and Jungle Ruler. Lights of Heaven's held up. She can't get clear. Is the gap opening? It's very, very narrow. She has to shoulder out, and Nubigochu. It's got momentum now. Nubigochu raced to the lead out wide on the course. Lights of Heaven just got bought for a run. Prince was boxing on. Nubigochu clear. Lights of Heaven trying to rally back. She's coming. Nubigochu in front. Nubigochu a neck on Lights of Heaven, who was unlucky. Prince Obama has run out of his skin third. Got home 4, then Time Matters.
here, Bigotchi. Yes, you can argue Lots of Heaven was unlucky. She was good. She just had to wait on heels, but that was how Moody predicted the race would pan out. Oliver Smart got the horse out running lane here.
Sammy. He is a star, this horse. And I mean, the times he's been beaten in this type of race, it's always been by the A-grader, but probably the best around. So he deserved the win. He was at
Forward to.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of improvement in him too, so I'm pretty excited. Down a year now, I think lacks a lot of depth. I don't think I can tell that Duncan Grimley from John Singer, as racing manager, told the other night, more Joyous won't be going there. He's in the Cox Plate. I think Lights of Heaven's certainly got to be respected there going forward. And, well, Glenn Boss just keeps raving about some
ride and this horse, Black and Bent, last Sunday in the Grand National Hurdle, and we'll see the horse again next Sunday at Sandown.
Hard and Black and Bent has sailed into the lead. And this trio are well clear from Famous Prince Fergus McIver as they swing for home now. And the champion of jumps racing is the leader with 1 to get over in the National. Black and Bent by 3 lengths now, Desert Master. Similar margin, Cat's Fun, and then Famous Prince. But Black and Bent comes to the 12th. The last jump in the Grand National Hurdle. Over it he goes with a beauty. 5 lengths clear, and he's got it 1. Desert Master second. Cat's Fun and Famous Prince are in a dispute for third. But Black and Bent, look at him go. What a champion he is. 69 kilos, and he's going to deliver for Steve Pateman a fine Grand National Hurdle. Black and Bent won it by 10 lengths.
Over 3,400 metres, and the champ Black and Bent is the favourite. No surprises too at $1.10.
Into the lead. Half Moon Rising is starting to make a little bit of ground behind these, but it's Black and Bent with the one hurdle to get over in the Jim Houlihan, going up and taking the lead from our Chateau, and Pateman sitting quietly on him. Phase Action still there in third placing. Half Moon Rising boxing on down the outside. Here's the last one now. Pateman steadies Black and Bent at it. He's jumped it well. A length in front of our Chateau, who stayed on. Fall at the back. Fergus McIver went down, so it'll be a battle for third between Half Moon Rising and Phase Action. But Black and Bent, under a tight range, starts to sprint away from them. And he racks up $500,000 in hurdle earnings here with the Jim Houlihan win in a canter. A champion wins. Black and Bent by 7. Our Chateau stayed on really well second, and Half Moon Rising got third. Phase Action
Champion wins and does it in emphatic fashion.
Stakes, the Group 3 race here over the 1,300 metres. And the favourite, number 3, Manawanui. We know that he's won 2 out of 3. He's been a good performer at the midweeks early on in his career.
Fighting second behind Florentina last
The
start.
win for Wilson, the outside, then Detours. Further back, double ranger, the inside from Manawanui, getting closer, stalking them. 2.5 to 3 off the speed now. Irish Time second last on the outside of Butcher, who's under a bit of pressure now under Williams. Coming up to the corner at the 400 metres. Queenian held together. Manawanui sliding up on the outside. Lower followed by Win for Wilson. Detours double ranger towards the inner from Irish Times, but here's Manawanui sliding up on the outside of Queenian at the 200 metres, and it goes for home. Manawanui, in a blinking of an eye, puts up 3 legs and is going to come away and win this easily. It's Manawanui bolting in. Smart won it by 4 legs. Second Queenian, third Detours. Fourth was Irish Times. Followed by...
Oh, he's lived up to the hype now. Manawanui, he is the winner of the up-and-coming for 2011 for Glenn Schofield and Ron.
Pretty painless to watch. Third win from just 4 starts, and as Richie touched on there, arguably unlucky his other starts. Some of the
far they will go. But I tell you what, he looks a sprinter, and he looks, something that could be a real Caulfield Guineas horse.
I'm a little bit with Glenn. Why train a speed out of a horse like that? He's got relaxers, he's got acceleration, he can put paid to a field quickly. I'd suggest the likely options for him would be the Golden Rose, even though they've got to pay up the late entry fee of 50,000, and then the Caulfield Guineas. And it's a shame he's not in the Cox Plate, really.
And by Gates release, and they're racing. Small That's All pinged the line and landed a half length in front, and the Lodger goes out the back early with Smoking Arrow. Settling down past the 1,000 and driving through Luxury fourth the inside. Hummums is fifth, followed by Atlantic Jewel and Rescue Mission just a little deep. Next on the inside was Shadowland to Campion, a length and a half the Lodger, and tailed off at the rear was Smoking Arrow, some 6 lengths off the second last horse. Roadhaven with a handy lead coming towards the turn, leads out by 4.5. New Zealand second placing, third Luxurious Choice, fourth on the outside Hummums. Rescue Mission is the widest as they turn in. Atlantic Jewel comes with her run also, down to the 300. Roadhaven quickly reeled in by Luxurious Choice. Atlantic Jewel and Rescue Mission starting to stake their claims now, passing the 200, and they pair down Rescue Mission on the inside and Atlantic Jewel. Atlantic Jewel doing a shake, the better from Rescue Mission, and Atlantic Jewel is coming away to give Caviar an early double. Atlantic Jewel first, holding on for second on the inside Luxurious Choice from Rescue Mission, and New Zealand fourth. Next in Roadhaven, deeper out was the Lodger, who made up some ground from the tail of the field. Then Campion, Hummums further back in the field there too.
Of last season, now 3-year-olds, including Smart Missile. 2 starts, 2 wins, looking to continue on that record. But I tell you what, he's got some good rivals, including Helmet, who's a dual Group 1 winner, and also Fox Wedge, who Richie has already had good support. Fox Wedge.
Right, certainly, Dean. It's a great race, this Ridges Parramatta Run to the Roads, of course. Great play. $7 into $6. Smart Missile. Now out to 5 to 4 on. $1.80. $1.
Racing. Smart Missile didn't jump all that well. He'll go back to last. Karuta Queen, filly Karuta Queen booted away at the 800 and led by 2.5 lengths. Diamond to Pegasus next. Fox Wedge third on the inside. A Half Boys on Tour, followed a couple of lengths away by Helmet. And then a Flight of Pegasus. And back last of all as they approach the turn was Smart Missile. He's giving the leaders about 7 or 8 lengths as they come for home, where Karuta Queen led. Diamond to Pegasus second. Fox Wedge comes off the inside and gets its chance, giving the leaders a couple of lengths start from Boys on Tour. And now Helmet and Smart Missile are coming right down the outside. Karuta Queen exploded away here at the top of the straight. She's giving them something to chase. Fox Wedge coming after it. Helmet and Smart Missile are starting to work home strongly. Karuta Karuta Queen in front. Fox Wedge is grabbing it. Here comes Smart Missile on the outside out after Fox Wedge. Smart Missile lunged and got up and won it. What a win. Smart Missile grabbed Fox Wedge right on the post. And now Helmet and Smart Missile are coming right down the outside. Karuta Queen exploded away here at the top of the straight. She's giving them something to chase. Fox Wedge coming after it. Helmet and Smart Missile are starting to work home strongly. Karuta Queen in front. Fox Wedge is grabbing it. Here comes Smart Missile on the outside out after Fox Wedge. Smart Missile lunged and got up and won it. What a win. Smart Missile grabbed Fox Wedge right on the post. Helmet got third, and then Karuta Queen followed by in behind them Flight of Pegasus boys.
Austin was Diamond to Pegasus.
What about that? That's out as you like. Number 2, Smart Missile. Geez, he was in trouble. The punters were having heart palpitations. Anthony Cummings and the owners. And look at Glenn Boss. Oh, he was wrapped. Why wouldn't you be? Taking your head, which we saw again today when you finally got up.
Yeah, he's quite possibly one of the best horses I've probably ever thrown a leg over. Unbelievable what he done. He all he wanted to do was sit out the back there and relax, and he was I mean, you got to give him his credit. It's his third start in a race. You know, he didn't know what to do, and when he got side of the bunny, I'd love to know what he run his last 100 metres in, because it was Usain Bolt time, I tell you. It was quite electric, and I just can't wait.
Because we worked out, according to the official sectional times, he ran 10.99 from the 400 to 200, but 11.45 the last furlong. Surely not.
And Glenn's the man to ask is the man that was on board. And Glenn, you were saying that you can't be right, because you felt his last 100 was the best part of his race.
Oh, what he done between the 400 and the 200 was very, very good, just to get himself into contention. But what he done from the 200 to the winning post was even quicker. So I've got him running about 10.5 from the 400 to 200. So he went quicker the last 4. I thought it was great. I thought Helmet was very, very good yesterday. You just can't drop off this horse, because when he looked huge, he was running to the line and through the line. That's what made this horse so impressive, because I wasn't picking up a horse that was stopping to make my horse look flattering. I was picking up a horse who was flying to the line, and I was actually going quicker. Corey Brown said there was no way that he was going to get beat the 100. Absolutely no chance of getting beat. So that's the sign of what a very good horse can do. Race, obviously the winner, but I thought Helmet, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
And to pick them up and run a sectional like he did that last 400 metres was just an amazing achievement. Breathtaking win. He was going nowhere on the point of the turn. He ran from the 200 to the 100. He ran 10.5. He finished off in under 11. That was an amazing win. This
one. There's the Golden Rose Market, Smart Missile, Helmet, Fox Wedge. I can confirm this morning that they will pay the late entry fee for Manawanui as it stands right.
Up towards the turn. Meets riding confidently on the odds-on favourite Moment of Change. It straightens up 3 in front of Appeasing. Then Dyer's Pass. Great Dignity and Beware of Me are running on, and further back then 2 for Edema, but it's all Moment of Change. This is going to be a big, big day for Peter Moody. It's Moment of Change in front. It'll score by 10 lengths. Dyer's Pass getting to second, but Moment of Change wins untouched by 12 over Dyer's Pass. Great Dignity got third on the line, just in advance. Absolutely walked in. Number 12, Moment of Change. Linda Meach for Peter Moody. Should have went around $1.04, judging on that.
Now, a couple of things there. 9.71, 0.01 outside the track record on debut. Gee, the $1.50 was good odds. Ran 2.39 quicker than the other maiden. Ran 1.07 quicker than the 0 to 68. Head on chest. Into third favouritism now for the Caulfield Guineas.
Been racing a while. I remember one debutant breaking a track record at Swan Hill 100 years ago, but almost did it. And if Let Go breaks the track record on debut at the end of winter, Bruce, if you don't mind, surely that track's not in pristine nick. Outstanding.
Bossy, first look at just showed you from Matoa. Moment of Change into third favouritism there at 16 to 1.
Says he's the real thing. So times on the day says he's the real thing.
So we shouldn't be fooled by the remote location.
No, don't be fooled by that. I think he's pretty clever horse.
But I think he's a tough, versatile type horse. The win pool here is 2.6.
It's the favourite.
Better be the one second favourite.
Racing, Rocket Man, 500 metres to go. And Rocket Man comes to the 400 metres mark, and he's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton, being chased along in second, followed by Dittore, then Better Be the One. Capablanca sneaking up on the fence, and a gap away then to New Target, but Rocket Man below the final 250. He's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton. Better Be the One begins to run on stoutly, followed by Dittore and Capablanca, but he's untouchable again, Rocket Man. He's out by 4 lengths over Flying Fulton, and Better Be the One, and another one for the Rocket. Rocket Man wins it by 6. Second, Flying Fulton, close for third. Better Be the One or close up Dittore. They were followed after a gap by Capablanca. The old boy just couldn't stick with them today, and New Target last in. So Rocket Man cruises around. Horse shook him mistake at Nakayama, and he's just flown him away again, as we expected. These horses just aren't in the same paragraph as this boy, and he's just bolted him. Very, very good. So he's just turned 6, and that's in his 17th win from 21 starts. On the other occasions, he's been beaten less than a half length in second position for his 4 seconds. So 1-4-2.
Silly odds here now, though, but geez, into 4 into $3.80. He's been a very good move with the boys with the bags. Let's trusting $4 into $3.70, just back to $3.80. Been the best back.
Trusting didn't jump too well. He's back in the second or third last position early on. Strike the Stars began well with Black Piranha, Mergelisa Lass, and My Kingdom of 5. And then Zara Dancer, followed by Start, took it up from Starts Me Up, My Kingdom of 5, and Mergelisa Lass. No luck for Trusting. He's out 3 wide on a limb, followed by Black Piranha. Jousting for the lead. My Kingdom of 5 a length off them third. Trusting going up on the outside to improve even further, followed by Mergelisa Lass and Black Piranha. Strike the Stars being ridden along, and then Sacred Choice, Illustrious Blue, My Lucky Day ridden along as well. He's about 6 off the lead, then Stand Again and Hawk Island coming to the turn. It Starts Me Up and Zara Dancer with My Kingdom of 5. Trusting joining in on the outside. Strike the Stars gets an inside run, but My Kingdom of 5 took over. Trusting coming at him on the outside. It's Trusting moving up to My Kingdom of 5, and then Strike the Stars on the inside. Trusting poked his head in front. Trusting with the Singapore Superstar on in front, and Trusting wins the Chelmsford. Won it from My Kingdom of 5 in second spot. Third home was the 3-year-old Strike the Stars. Then there's a wall for 4th. Black Piranhas there with Zara Dancer also.
Gee, you're going to take plenty of benefit.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse, isn't he? By Tail of the Cat out of a Zabille Legible. She won a Sandown Classic, and he was sold.
Trusting here. His 3 best runs to my eye. Obviously, the win yesterday, 3 and 4 wide. He's Epsom second when covered a stack of ground, and his Emirates Stakes close up 1 length 6th or something, covered a stack of ground at Flemington. I wonder if he's just a better horse outside them. So you got to slaughter him. Well, it seemed to work.
When asked to go.
There's number 1, Dream Peddler on your screen there. Doesn't make the top 8 or the show.
Never missed a place first up. Awkward gate, but he could be finishing strongly. You wouldn't like to have him totally against you.
15 delayed reaction. Looks to be back on track now. I thought he'd lost his way, but he was pretty good last time.
Much better run last start, and his best is good enough. He's been placed in a Group 440, but you can get $6.50 about him now. We've got $21.
Jungle Ruler by 2 lengths to Adnicon. Silky Smooth third the outside, and they're tracked up then by Machado 4th on the rail. Utah Saints has had every chance in the run, being followed by Dream Away, Buried Away on the inside. Rockpecker coming on. Niblick 3 deep is starting to make some ground. Bullbars is on his back trying to work home as they've entered the straight now. Jungle Ruler, the leader from Adnicon. Wider Silky Smooth, and Utah Saints going for a needle-eye gap there. There's not a lot of room. And in the meantime, Rockpecker and Niblick have started winding up their runs, and then Bullbars. Rockpecker and Niblick. Niblick getting out after Rockpecker. Utah Saints trying to come back. Then delayed reaction. And further back is Bullbars. Niblick is in front with 100 metres to go. He's going strongly to the line first up, and Niblick by a length and a quarter to Rockpecker or Utah Saints for the minors. Bullbars 4. And then came Playwright, Dream Away, Adnicon just.
To Niblick, number 14, all the double figure numbers of Stephen King and Robert.
This won't take long. For the Daniel, Sepoy. Anything else in the race? I'll say the punters. I don't need our words to describe him. His deeds on the track will vouch for that.
Yeah, look, I'd be surprised if the guys on track have actually written the bet.
plus down near the inside. So it's Unique Quality who's doing the work in the early part. Sepoy sitting just behind him, about a half length off second. Grand Britannia close to the inside. Mosheen's in the clear. Hallowell Bell's caught on down the outside. Unique Quality running a bit of a race at the 300. Sepoy closing on him nearer the inside. And McAvoy sitting pretty quietly now, and Sepoy takes over the running. Masthead getting through on the inside. Hallowell Bell's warming up down the outside. Sepoy's about a length in front. He has to keep going under the whip in the run home, but he'll get there. Sepoy won it from Hallowell Bell by a length. Unique Quality's run a terrific race third. Masthead fourth, and then Mosheen.
Not brilliant, but good enough. That's all you got to do. Get out there and get the job done. But the time's good. 1:08.71. Karen just showing.
$1.10 and $1 for the hot pot there for Karen McAvoy, Pete Snowden. Hallowell.
Masthead fourth, and then Mosheen.
He's a star. He's won 7 out of 8. Hard to knock him.
Expression with your eyes, you're wondering that, geez, the time was unbelievable.
Well, he sort of just didn't look as dominant.
A good setup, isn't it?
All times and measures, say he measures up to the older horses to my reckoning. So really excited to see that.
We expect so much from him, but we're comparing him. He's not Black Caviar, and nothing will be Black Caviar. She blows opposition away. He's not that dominant. He's dominant, but he's not that dominant. We've got to understand that.
The Kylie Diva Stakes is our feature race here. Group 2 mile and big field of potential spring players, but not many giving a winning hope here. The big difference to that tote call is Glass Harmonium, $11. It's 6 into 5 here on
At First Sight.
A little bit of weight behind him.
Glass Harmonium, the grey about to come up into the stalls. Laturio still out with the favourite lights. And Guesswing and Laturio is last. At the 800 metres, Alandy the leader. Harris Tweed is second by a neck. Glass Harmonium deep out third. Prince of Armour now fourth over on the inside. Followed closely in the field then by Midas Touches. They're on the swing now. My Bentley just off these, followed by Once Were Wild. Lights of Heaven coming up on the outside. She's within about 5 lengths of the leading horses as they're on the swing, and Playing God's back behind her, peeling to the outside. In the straight, Harris Tweed with Glass Harmonium. My Bentley getting the inside run. Down the outsiders, Lights of Heaven starting to finish off very well. And Playing God's on her outside. They're coming together, these two. Glass Harmonium hit the lead at the 200 metres. Coming home down the outsiders, Playing God. Lights of Heaven can't reach them for the moment. Glass Harmonium in front of Playing God and Midas Touch. Playing God, Glass Harmonium. Look at Laturio. Laturio flashes home wide out. He's got there. What a comeback. Laturio from Glass Harmonium. Midas Touch starting to finish off very well. And Playing God's on her outside. They're coming together, these two. Glass Harmonium hit the lead at the 200 metres. Coming home down the outsiders, Playing God. Lights of Heaven can't reach them for the moment. Glass Harmonium in front of Playing God and Midas Touch. Playing God, Glass Harmonium. Look at Laturio. Laturio flashes home wide out. He's got there. What a comeback. Laturio from Glass Harmonium, Midas Touch and Playing God. Lights of Heaven just off them. Followed then by At First Sight. A break further loss. A Landy towards the tail. An extraordinary win.
Clay Williams doesn't get excited much when he wins races, but it's an exciting opportunity for Springs open up again for him.
Well, it has. I mean, he's always shown it. I mean, no one gave him a chance, but his previous form is as good as any horse in the field. You see him in the mount.
Fantastic, Nigel, and well done to all concerned.
Thanks, Bruce.
$38 on the touch. Let's have a look at those entrants. Your maxi div will be the Tats dividend, $48.20.
Was amazing, and he ran accordingly. The question has to be asked, did he show up the weight for age form? And I say yes. I think the weight for age form this season at this stage is rubbish.
Can I just add in there? I suspect, and I'm not sure, but I'll check, the first two over the line are the only two who've previously won a weight for age race.
Probably right. Probably right. And that's what I'm saying. It's rubbish. There's nothing there. And we had a wait for...
I mean, for the last race of the day and a short price favourite, and that is the December draw on the tape. $2.30, but the odds on here on course. Old 2,000 metres Flemington.
That's it. First up, when we saw him in May, he won here at Flemington.
Been whittled away very quickly, and Dark Note went around the outside and took up the running at the 600 metres now. They're being followed by December Draw, poised for his run. Light Vision just inside him, and then Lekedro. Module pulls out, and My Scotsgray's made up ground the widest. Tara Man is trying to get onto his back. Dark Note, the leader from Amber Grey, but December Draw claimed them at the 400, and he's hit the front. Getting up on the inside, White Universe running on. Lekedro is there, and My Scotsgray was wider out. and Green Moon gets over heels, but December Draw shot away, 200 to go by 3 Lakedro, White Universe, and then came Green Moon and Laristam, but December Draw is going to stand up at Flemington, unbeaten here. December Draw comes right away, won it by 4, one of the best wins of the day. Green Moon second, White Universe third. My Scots Grey ran fourth, then Laristan, Lakedro, Zagreb.
I mean, G4 runs in Australia now for 3 wins in a second when he was under Dun. And he likes Flemington, so we're on our way there.
Yeah, got to get there via.
Big thing, isn't it? That's where the big race is, and he's won there 3 times now, so he's on the improve.
It's around here, and you know what's probably going to be heading around here. Well, December Draw's got to win the naturalism to qualify.
Love that horse. I hope he wins the naturalism and qualifies himself for the Caulfield Cup, because I think he'll nearly win it. Mark Cavanagh's been trying to talk this horse down. It's not working, Mark. It's not working. He's a good horse.
Yeah, well, you agree with that, Andrew? So you think with Bart now in the UK or in Ireland with Aidan O'Brien, I thought we'd show you this because I might have some views on this as well. This is the Irish Champion Stakes, small field, 4-1 on favourite. So you think hadn't run for a while.
Roderick O'Connor, the leader, from So You Think in second, Snow Fairy in third, and then comes Famous Name. As they swing into the straight with 2.5 to go. Roderick O'Connor's made all the runnings. So You Think poised in second. Snow Fairy about to be switched. And So You Think ranges up now to take the lead. Snow Fairy comes in pursuit. So You Think the leader. Snow Fairy coming on the near side, and it's So You Think pressed all the time by Snow Fairy as they race towards the final furlong. So You Think on the far side, Snow Fairy the near side. They've gone away from Famous Name inside the final furlong. So You Think on the far side. Snow Fairy really putting it up to him as they race the line. So You Think driven out by Jamie Heffernan, wins it, his 8th Group 1 win. Second Snow Fairy, big run from her. Famous Name is third. Dunboyne Express, Roderick O'Connor on a long way back to recital. 4-1 on favourite, the shortest price favourite in the history of the Irish Champion Stakes at Leopardstown.
Filly on the near side, Snow Fairy. They're going neck and neck inside the last 200. So You Think on the far side, calling on all his reserves. Snow Fairy on the near side. They're running up towards the finish. So You Think will win the Champion Stakes at his 8th Group 1. Snow Fairy a gallant second, clear of Famous Name Dunboyne Express, Roderick O'Connor and Recital.
Job well done to So You Think. Second horse, No Slouch, of course. Snow Fairy had won in Hong Kong last year, the Hong Kong Cup, one in Japan, the QE2 commemorative cup over there as well. So back in form. Snow Fairy had beaten 9.5 lengths by So You Think in the Eclipse Stakes. It's the only time he's been beaten has been in the
Came back to a mile and tackled Frankel, who's really zipped along at that sort of trip. But look, terrific win. He was left in front a long way from home. The runner-up had the last crack at him. So there's nothing wrong with the win. The only time he's been vulnerable, he took the front 600 from home in a fast run race. So it's an outstanding overall record, obviously.
Duract off winning last year. Who will it be this year taking out the $1 million to his new Golden Rose? Smart Missile at this point has had support on course, and it's Fox Wedge Helmet just starting to drift a fraction here. Just a small field of 6, but Richie, they are all quality.
I know what, Caroline, what a cracking race it is. The $1 million to his new Golden Rose. I just speaking to the boss of to his new.
Ready to jump. Off Helmet's missed the start of length. He came out a clear last Helmet, and Fox Wedge landed in front of Manawanui. Aeronautical up on the outside, followed by Smart Missile, then Flight of Pegasus, and Helmet's got nowhere to go in the centre there, and he'll have to down the side. A new leader now. Schofield took Manawanui to the front, led out by a length and a half. Aeronautical is second, followed by Fox Wedge on the outside of Flight of Pegasus on the rail, and then the 2 big guns at the back. Helmet who's in the centre. He just seemed to get crowded up there, and he cannoned into Smart Missile as well. They both lost ground. Coming up towards the home turn, 450 to go. Manawanui's had a sweet time in front, led by a length and a half. Aeronautical in second spot, and then we've got Flight of Pegasus, followed by Fox Wedge. Smart Missile pulled into the clear, and Helmet coming down the outside. Manawanui strode away. He leads with about 300 to go. In second, Fox Wedge. Smart Missile is starting to run on down the outside. Manawanui in front. Smart Missile starting to get airborne. He's running off the track. Smart Missile looms up on the outside. Manawanui in front. Manawanui won it. Manawanui beat Smart Missile, who probably threw it away, wanted to duck off the track. Flight of Pegasus third. Then we got Helmet, who was his own worst enemy today, followed by Fox Wedge, and last in was Aeronautical.
Well, what an amazing choice, new Golden Rose we've seen. Manawanui Sepoy is the winner for Ron. Skyfield waving the whip to the crowd. Smart Missiles.
On the day did win. We've got to concede that, but who's the best horse out of that field?
Well, purely from a racing perspective, analyst perspective, Smart Missile clearly should have won the race. We all know that. And he's probably the horse going forward. But he and Helmet having the same issues all the time. If they can't get around Rose Hill, Bruce, how are they going to come down and get around Caulfield and Moonee Valley? I guess that's the query.
Helmet, he just finds a new trick every start. I know the barrier didn't know.
It's going to be a terrific Guineas. Well, it always is, but we've got so many X factors coming into this. Smart Missile.
There was plenty of action happening in the Golden Rose yesterday, but it was the battlers that come out on top, and deservedly so, because they put their 50 grand. He just done this before, and just doesn't want to go straight.
First start in the race when he won.
Yeah, just there, he wants to just get on the wrong leg, duck out. But, you know, you'd say that cost him about a neck there.
Yeah.
So little incidents in the race, you'd say, well, Smart Missile should have won. But look, take nothing away from the winner. He makes his own luck.
It's a great lineup here of looks like a Moody race. There's David, the owner. He's got 8 and 7, Colgrinda and Crystal Lily. And on course, there's also...
Shrapnel went back. Crystal Lily got away very quickly, and so did Atomic Force, and buffering out wide. As they settle into stride, it's Buffering who goes on and tries to find the lead. Satin Shoes nearly a length away. Colgrinda retains her place third, but Buffering it across the third. Or Colgrinda's found herself back fourth on the inside. Crystal Lily sits outside Buffering now. Then Satin Shoes out very wide. Zeddy Knight getting up into about third. Colgrinda running up behind the leader. First Command in that mix as well, and Atomic Force about to get over heels, and then Happy Zero, Shrapnel last. Buffering and Crystal Lily. Colgrinda in a bumping duel there with Satin Shoes who dropped off, and here's Atomic Force letting go. Buffering from Crystal Lily. Buffering a neck Crystal Lily. Buffering from Crystal Lily, and now Atomic Force starts to lift. Buffering just hanging on. Crystal Lily dive with Atomic Force. I think Buffering might have just lasted. It's very close though. Atomic Force out wider and Crystal Lily in the middle. Colgrinda will be the hard luck story behind them from first.
And what's going to get the prize here?
I think it'll be Buffering on the inside there, 7 and 2. 1,000-metre race, high speed. It's close to a triple dead heat. What a race. And Cool Grinder, of course, just as Peter Moody alluded, exactly what happened.
Yeah, deserved it. Makes his own luck. He can do work in the run, and he fights like a tiger. He's an absolute ripper. The barrier beat Crystal Lily. She flew.
At the heads, and Little Boy Blue is third. King Carnage fourth, the outside, tracked up then on the rails by Miss Gay Flyer. Stands out within 4 of the leader, and then Blackie, Worm out wider. Response awkwardly placed on the rail, so too Spirited Eagle with most of the field in front of him, and Dr. Nippon Tucker's last. 400 left to go. Dan's Item from King Carnage wide out. Then Little Boy Blue running up behind the Miss Gay Flyer. Stands out and Worm out wide. Spirited Eagle still about 4 off them into the straight. King Carnage went up to Dan's Item. Stands out Worm down the outside. At the heads pushing through. Worm hit the front. Blackie starting to fly home. Worm speared away though, and Worm beat Blackie by a length. Stands out a half third. King Carnage 4 from Dan's Island. At the heads, Response on the fence.
For Brisbane trainer Rob Heathcote and Damien Brown, they win the McEwen Stakes today with the Buffering, and they steam home here with a good horse in Worm. Well done to them. Great.
They're progressing the right way. Worm was excellent. He's got the best finish of any horse in the land. And he'd carried his 60.5 and was pretty soft at last 200. It wasn't exactly throw the whip away, D. Brown. Pretty light riding to my eye. I love Worm. He's a terrific horse and probably got as good a finish since Divine Madonna.
Richard. Moment of change. Well, much been written, spoken, and said it and saw about the Matar win through times. To the $9 for the Caulfield Guineas, and the rally for Collar is now being matched by the performance of Moment of Change.
As you would expect. Opened 4, touched 420. That's when they stepped in, got down to as low as 370, and then back out to 380 because they're 60 out to 175. Then
they're trailed by Hold On To Your Horses. Was now second last on the swing for home, peeling out wide, and Sparksburn last into the straight, and Moment of Change still hasn't been released. Kidcaby's under the whip. Getting up on the inside is El Mahar. Vatican's down the outside. Now Meech just shakes him up a bit and he kicks away here. Moment of Change. He's kicked out 4 lengths on Vatican. Cotto's coming down the outside. Metak is running on. Moment of Change 4 lengths in front with 100 metres to go. It'll be a soft win. And Moment of Change from Matoa to Melbourne won it by 3.5. Second then goes to Metak, Collar and Vatican photoed for third. Almahab is next over.
Touch of the weekend. Hustler performance about that, winning its Sandown race before going on to greatness. That's easy stuff, and beating a quality field here. Moment of change.
You know, he hasn't been tested at home or at the races to this point, so you know, sky's the limit. But you know, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We'll just
things believing.
Perfect progression for him. Look, history's littered with those horses that have a big win and a maiden step up to City Grade and get beaten. He looks top shelf about 3 or 2. Another Derby.
Race, the Group 2. This is the Hill Stakes, and Trusting coming through a win in the Chelmsford. He is a clear-cut favourite. Richie, he's just 210 into 205.
Yeah, he's been very well backed. He has, Trusting. This will be the last leg of a lot of punters. The shorties all rolled into one, the first 4 favourites.
Yeah.
Dealer Principal steadied in front, led by a couple of lengths on Trusting, who sits in second spot. Mergelisa Lass. At the 700, the leader still Dealer Principal. Trusting in second spot. Mergelisa Lass working hard. Bid Spotter's about to make a move on the outside. Now Tullamore's on the back of horses here. He's looking for a run near the inside, but in an awkward spot. Hawk Island's gone up along the fence as they make the home turn, and Trusting put its head in front. Went to the lead. Bid Spotter looms on the outside. Then Dealer Principal, followed by Hawk Island. Tullamore's into the clear, but he's got about 4 or 5 lengths to make up, and Trusting exploded away at the 200 metres. Trusting is well clear from Hawk Island, Tullamore, then Bid Spotter, but he is right back in top form, this horse Trusting, and he'll come down and cane them. Wins it by about 3.5 or 4. Hawk Island second, Tullamore third. Then Stand Again. Lodge the Deeds, Illustrious Blue, Bid Spotter, Mergelisa Lass, and last in was Dealer Principal.
That was the real Trusting we've seen, and
you know, everybody's always known he's the real deal. Today he jumped, put himself there, and just put him away. You know, he's an awesome horse.
And the best thing was he was
in a couple of races where he loomed up to win and didn't go on with it. Look, let's put it in perspective. He didn't beat a great field yesterday, but he looks fantastic and he is hitting the line now. So, you know, the sky's the limit with him, really.
Welcome back here to Caulfield, getting set for the Naturalism Stakes, where the favourite December Draw needs to step up to the plate for Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup fanciers. $1.50 here on course. There's huge bets on this horse today, and also heading towards here by Black and Bent's tote quote. It's 20 to 1 here on course, Black and Bent, but today's a day for him to qualify, of course, as we well know, for the Caulfield Cup, and I think he should.
Italia at first sight starting to make a move, but about a dozen lengths away from the leader, and then came exceptionally Black and Bent and My Bentley. Less than 600 to go. Herculean Prince by 2 lengths to 1 to Wild, a length and a half. Light Vision, Green Peddler hard ridden, and then Lucky 88. I'm Jake. December Draw still in a little bit of traffic with above average on his outside. As they swing for home, they're followed then by making some ground at first sight. Herculean Prince, the leader. December Draws in the clear, a couple of lengths away. Light Vision's ahead of him. Light Vision goes to the lead. December Draw chasing. Lucky 88 on the outside, above average, and at first sight coming. December Draw goes to the lead. Draw a length and a half in front. Lucky 88. Here's at first sight flashing home. December Draw with a good lead. At first sight whittling into the margin, but December Draw too good, beating 3/4. At first sight second. He actually eased on the winner. Lucky 88 will get the third, I'd say, from above average. Light Vision, Dream Peddler.
There's your Caulfield Cup favourite, and the threat of missing a start in that race gives him a much better chance of qualifying for the Melbourne Cup also. He's got a step 1 onto the
a non-penalty race, maybe the Turnbull or something like that. He likes 2000. He likes Flemington.
Bruce, and look, what I love about the horse is they rode him off the speed today or yesterday to teach him something. I love the way he quickened into gaps. That's what good horses do. He looked to be in strife at about the 600. A little gap came, he quickened into it, and he's certainly right on the radar, and he gets him with no weight in the features.
Penalty to
so heavily back from about $41 into $5.50 prior to yesterday in the BMW Caulfield Cup. I thought the second horse was outstanding, but
on for the Caulfield Cup before that race yesterday with the expectation he'd win. So you can say now $3.80 is unders, which it is, but you've still got the
greatest fan, December Draw, but fair dinkum, this is the greatest overreaction in the market I've ever seen. $3.90 to win a Caulfield Cup. Leave me out of that. The second horse's run was just as good as him, and he's going to be double figure odds. I love this second horse's run at first sight.
I think what's added to it, Ron, is that
day coming up nice and early on in the program. This is the Group 2 Stan Fox for the 3-year-olds. We've seen some pretty good horses win it in recent times. Decision Time last year. Before that, Denman, a Golden Rose winner. Horses like Jet 12 and fluctuating between the two. Manawanui, the Golden Rose winner.
No, I think the shortest price favourite out here in a long time would have been $1.25. Sporting Bet bang into $1.20, and then this morning another 250,000 and another 100,000 into $1.18.
Well, they're starting to get to the serious end now, and Manawanui in front and just slipped a little bit more rain. He exploded away at the top of the straight here. Instant acceleration from this galloper. He put about 4 or 5 lengths on Clocky Raider, then State of Wealth, Irish Times and Roma Giaconda coming down the outside. But he's sitting as quiet as a church mouse on Manawanui. And this will hardly raise a sweat and get 150,000. Manawanui coasting. Roma Giaconda got second. Cocky Raider third. Then Irish Times. Last in State of Wealth.
Well, no surprise there. He absolutely dictated in front, Manawanui, didn't he, with Glenn Scott?
Yeah, right. 12 here on track. And that was what you call $150,000 for just an exhibition gallop. Now, a good barrier trial here for me. It certainly was.
He keeps beating. He keeps winning, and he beat the headline horses. Do you think he's getting the credit that he deserves?
Probably not. But, we'll see when there's no excuses for the other two. Hopefully in the Caulfield Guineas there are no excuses for any of them.
Rose tries to go with it. Emerald Downs against the fence, the leader. Out wide, swooping around the outsiders, Atlantic Jewel, and she claimed him in a couple of strides and bounded away. Shani Rose went on down the outside, and then City of Song boxing on Emerald Downs. But look at this. Atlantic Jewel, hard hell, beat Shani Rose by a length. Florence 2 lengths away, got up to third of Emerald Downs. And then came to
It was her at Moonee Valley. This is now. And she just intimidates them. Well, she intimidated on the track, but she walks around this mounting yard, intimidating them here. Let's go through the yard. We'll go another round.
That's huge because I think she beat some good fillies and she was being choked down coming to the line. No, she's the one.
Star Salute with offer on their outside. A length and a half Atlantic Jewel. Almus Jones in the bright pink, nowhere to go. And Shani Rose, City of Jewel at the end. The side they race now, Florence and Heaven's Choice, the leaders from Crucial, Offer, over on the rails, kneeling, trying to find a way clear from Star Salute. And now Oliver's pulled right to the outside on Atlantic Jewel, and she's starting to lift them and run home strongly. Here she comes with her big run. Florence in front of the 200, headed immediately by Atlantic Jewel. A dazzling turn of foot, and down the outside now, our Miss Jones has got into the clear, but it's Atlantic Jewel with a 2-length lead, and she'll win again. Gee, she's got Atlantic Jewel, 2.5, our Miss Jones. Shani Rose from last got up to get third, ahead of Crucial, Florence and Uriah, all the daily colour.
Pretty special. Oh, look at this. Ears pricked all the way down the straight here. Makes a good field look pretty average. I mean, Miss Jones and Shani Rose, they all run well again, but she's indifferent. Look at this. That's embarrassing. You don't do that, Sammy, with your ears. I don't know. You try and put that into words for us. What do you think?
Pretty good.
But a bit embarrassing, Lily, wasn't it?
Look, I was a bit worried. Look, she shied away from that the big screen like Celebrity Girl did last week, actually. That was probably the only worry that you had throughout the run.
But she had plenty of time to do it, don't you?
I think she's Michael's ride, mate, but he's a good mate, and I'm happy to fill in for him.
You'll give us your view on her.
She's a star, mate. She had time to look at the sponsors board halfway down the straight there and still win.
She's still only a baby, and wow, the world's at her feet. I think she's the most exciting horse in Australia at the moment, and that's including Black Caviar.
The 300,000, 320,000 into Atlantic Jewel now. He's alive. He's just got to get to the day and get her home at the even money.
But I can't see anything beating her, to be quite honest.
Oh, look, she put the writing on the wall with those dazzling figures last time. She's an absolute star. An absolute.
3-year-old is in the yard here for the Age Caulfield Guineas Prelude, minus Chase the Rainbows. Certainly, that's we're keen to have a chat to Rick or Lacey shortly about what he does now, because I'm sure he's thoroughly disappointed that he's got here today on the leading race. Right. Alpha Wonderful World and Achiever last year.
Archer going for the lead early, and Helmet got away quickly and is immediately up in second, with Running Tall down on the inside third, and they're running very solidly early. Secret Hills 2 lengths away in fourth spot, and they're being followed by Spectre Grass of Gold, followed then by Epsilon and Isopac tacking onto the field at the 600 metres, and Golden Archer only a Nectar Helmet who looked to idle on the outside. 2 lengths away then is Secret Hills behind the favourite, Running Tall the rail. Spectre in the light grey colours, Grand Britannia, that's the one was next as they're on the swing, and then Cross of Gold, Epsilon Isopac, Golden Archer the leader, Helmet level with him into the straight, and then Running Tall. Secret Hills is trying to make ground as they go to the 200 metres, and Helmet burst by 2 lengths. Secret Hills is staying onto his coattails pretty well. Spectre's making ground, but Helmet hasn't put a foot wrong today. Gee, he's a good winner here. Helmet came away and won it by 3 lengths on the line to Secret Hills. Similar margin, Spectre third. Running Tall stayed on for 4. They're being followed then. Archer went too fiercely. He's carved up in Grand Britannia last home.
And it's probably run the second fastest 1400 metres ever at Caulfield. 1:21.4. That's Golden Archer. Thanks very much helping out there. Does everything right. Sets himself up now for the Guineas. Manawanui to come down.
That's his ability, Bruce. You know, today's probably the first I can say he did everything right. He bounced perfect, and that's, to me, I think it's only a touch of what the horse's ability truly is.
There's still plenty in the tank, I presume.
Oh, look, he's just about there. I felt he...
6. But pretty good. What you see is what you get there.
Outstanding, Bruce. Ran 3 lengths faster than Turk Toff in a Group 1, a bit later the older horse, and did it off a slightly slower first 800 split. So it doesn't happen often with 3-year-olds. An outstanding win. Spectre covered a bit of ground, but have got the market at this stage. Helmet favourite, just from Smart Missile. Moment of change, 550. Manawanui at 70. Manawanui.
Yeah, look, for me, it's the Cox Plate's always been there. I've always had in the back of my mind, and I planned his preparation of his 4th run, the Guineas, and the 5th run, if he's going well enough. But it all warrants his form and how he's coming up to that race.
Well, Group 1 racing continues here at Caulfield with the Underwood Stakes, but not before we look at Belmore, Australia, the home of champions. And look at the size of number 1 there, the Highland Saddlecloth there. They've got the
Glass Harmonium 460 out to 550. Lion Tamer 15 to 16. Playing God 8 to 9. Got out from $4.20 to $5, and they're just starting to back her again into $4.80 into $4.80, and down the bottom at Southern Speed out to 31. So up
record time.
Yep,
upheld.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The outside had no hope. It didn't get interfered with at all, but Mosheen certainly did.
Good strong gallop, 1,000 left to go. Glass Harmonium by a length. In second placing, switching over to the outside, Midas Touch and Heart of Dreams tucks in behind them in third placing. He wants to over race there. Precedent settling well 4th, and on his outside, Southern Speed. Lights of Heaven down on the inside with Lion Tamer around her. 2 lengths away is Efficient. Shamrock a wide out, Master O'Reilly. They're nearing the 500. Still Glass Harmonium shows the way from Midas Touch. Southern Speed Precedence. Heart of Dreams ridden along on the inside, not responding for the time being as Lion Tamer took off. Playing God commencing a move, and Lights of Heaven not doing enough right for the time being. Southern Speed race to the lead early in the straight from Glass Harmonium. Midas Touch. Here's Lion Tamer and Playing God down the outside. Southern Speed the leader. Less than 200 metres to go. Lion Tamer starts to run on strongly. Lion Tamer raced to Southern Speed. Lion Tamer got to Southern Speed. He put his head in front, and Lion Tamer drew away and won the Underwood from Southern Speed by a length. Staying on Midas Touch ahead away 3rd, and then Playing God. He didn't quite finish off again. Heart of Dreams, Glass Harmonium, followed by Scarlet Lady, who warmed up late, and Precedence. Lights of Heaven. Further back in the field then is Efficient. Master O'Reilly right
to produce a beaut right here on Lion Tamer, the Derby winner. He's filling in for Huey Bowman. He does a good job and puts his name.
He ran second in the Amy Vase. He won the Derby. His first up run in New Zealand was good. Maybe those New Zealand horses have got a real chance of doing something here this spring. Said she's finished back there with Master O'Reilly. So I think we'll be dissecting this.
Look at from this race. I don't win at second up, so you think did the previous year, but it had been a long time prior to that. Long time as second up. A Derby winner, of course, on a bold track. Wins a weight for age race the next spring and good ground. That's a good something.
For me is the horse was second up, 1,400 out to 1,800. And travelled internationally. So you'd have to assume there's plenty of upside to come from the winner. So from a racing perspective, how do those behind him sort of turn the tables on him? I know.
Sepoy's at his mark. He's found his price.
She's proven in the wet. She's proven first up. Yep. She's a great mare. I mean, he's
got on about Sepoy roll from last season, and he's odds on in the ring. $1.90 was the best. He's into $1.85, but she's been a little bit on the light side.
Yeah, she was light early in preparations too.
She's always been a bit like that. She's had the setback coming into this preparation position, and this is Sepoy cracking tight.
He certainly is.
They're set. Racing in the Manighar. Oh, Sepoy not the best to bounce. He'll have to do some work here. Away fast, buffering Cool Grinder and Sister Madly. Now Sepoy drives through, and he's going to retain the inside, but he is working. Buffering's going hard on the outside of him. McAvoy's going to have to ease and let him go. Buffering 3/4 Sepoy, Cool Grinder, 1 Sister Madly, 2 more Joyous, idling off that really hectic pace. It's Sepoy, the leader. He's done a lot of work. He's been softened up. He led by a half to Buffering. A length and a half, Sister Madly, and neck to Cool Grinder. Atomic Force has gone up and pocketed More Joyous before they got to the turn. And up towards the bend, Sepoy by 3/4 Buffering. Cool Grinder's coming on. Sister Madly waits behind them. Then Atomic Force. More Joyous working clear. Sepoy, the leader. Cool Grinder's throwing out a challenge on the outside. Sister Madly buffering More Joyous and Atomic Force. But Sepoy burst away from them. How good is he? He's raced 3 lengths clear and he'll bolt it in. What a great 3-year-old. Sepoy bolted in by 2 lengths to Sister Madly. Photo third, More Joyous and Buffering. And up towards the bend, Sepoy by 3/4 Buffering. Cool Grinder's coming on. Sister Madly waits behind them. Then Atomic Force. More Joyous working clear. Sepoy, the leader. Cool Grinder's throwing out a challenge on the outside. Sister Madly buffering More Joyous and Atomic Force. But Sepoy burst away from them. How good is he? He's raced 3 lengths clear and he'll bolt it in. What a great 3-year-old. Sepoy bolted in by 2 lengths to Sister Madly. Photo third, More Joyous and Buffering. Then Atomic Force and Rue Maple. Happy Zero.
Something special. Sepoy delivers another knockout punch. Had to work hard. He didn't jump out of the gate well.
We looked at each other halfway through the race and said, look, whatever happens, he's vulnerable here. You're right. He missed the kick half a length. He had to kick and kick and kick and kick. Looked like he was going to hold out Buffering quite comfortably. And then had another crack. Karen McAvoy persevered. He's kicked on the home turn. He's won easily, Terry. This has been a terrific win. Big win. More Joyous, nothing away. This horse is an absolute star. An absolute star. And again, he's a star.
Yeah, we can't overanalyse that. Pressured all the way, still manages within 2/100ths of a second of the fastest split of the night. That is amazing. Considering the fastest of the night sat back and ran home. Just phenomenal. Gap back to third.
As you've already outlined, Richard, it was an absolutely stunning performance. He is a superstar.
He is a superstar because for a spring 3-year-old to do that to tough older sprinters, he dwelt at the start. It wasn't great. You had to drive him through. You want to be up on the pace on those night meetings, and especially, on that track, it's percentage play. But I thought, okay, well, if he can just grind home and maybe fall in, that'll be a great effort. But he spaced them. He pulled their pants down on the corner, and I could see behind him the good mare on the fence there was just travelling beautifully behind him, but she Sister Madly couldn't go with him when he went.
Well, neither could More Joyous. Like they were softened. He was softened up. I know it was hard if you weren't in close to the fence again. I don't want to get on that start on that again, but.
Deciding he did need another run before the Cox Plate. He is $1.30 on.
Black, the next New Moon. Then over on the inside is Jimmy Shue. He's 6th in the running as they run to the 800 metres now. A little more than a Chad Ormsby dictating the speed on Red Ruler. Sea Flight is second. Back and Black behind them, and then El Santo. New Moon is the next. Dom Domingo's going forward. Jimmy Shue, he's riding him for a little bit of luck. He's looking to angle off now and gets through. Hold It Harvey follows him. Then Titch as they swing the corner, then Booming, and Dawn Ghost on the inside. Red Roller sprinted to the top of the stretch. He got 4 lengths on them from Back and Black. Jimmy Shue's trying to gun him down now. Over on the inside between runners, he's starting to charge. Red Roller, here he comes, Jimmy Shue. Whoa, look at him go! Jimmy Shue, Red Roller, late hold at Harvey. Jimmy Shue, beauty, on his way to the Cox Plate. Good luck. Red Roller, hold it. Harvey's jockey off just after the line. Then we had the next one home. It's been New Moon, then Back and Black the next one. Wow, what a win. Red Ruler had him by 6 lengths at the 350. 100 metres later, the hometown champion absolutely smoked him. Amazing performance as we have a look at the line. But he's got them by 2 lengths. Incredible. Then we had the next one home. It's been New Moon, then Back.
Two things from the race. One is I love the way he picked up and sprinted. He was held up, and that's what you need. You need to be able to accelerate, and he was pretty soft the last 100. So, look, he's obviously classes above them, which he needs to be to measure up here.
Well, Red Ruler was gone in Melbourne.
Now, I think they should be cocky. I've heard the trainer and the owner on radio interviews in Australia, and he'll never be beaten again. He'll be unbeaten till the Cox Plate. We're all just rolling our eyes. I'm a believer. He's a superstar. A deserved Cox Plate favourite. He's come back in terrific form. better than he was at 3. There's no doubt about that. Oh, I don't care about the opposition here. It's the manner in which he put paid to them.
Horses, red colour. He's a worthy favourite. Don't worry.
He's a worthy favourite unless Helmet blows him away in the Guineas.
Event of the day, the racingnetwork.com.au. Epsom Handicap Sincero is the favourite, the George Main Stakes winner. But is a bit of a drifter here. There's money for a couple of others. Racingnetwork.com.au, where you can get all your form, your arc.
Led from Red Tracer working up on the outside to join it. Renewed Vitality trailing them on the inside. Pinker. More Strawberries fifth but out wide. And then Thank God You're Here back along the rail, followed by Willie Jimmy out wide and Pinnacles in the centre. Fortella midfield. Sincero on the inside of it from Light Brigade. Red Colossus still out deep. And then Sacred Choice on the inside from Triple Elegance. Dealer Principal in that group as well. Secret Admirer a long way back and covering plenty of ground. And Raspberries about second last. King Lionheart the leader from Red Tracer as they near the turn. Pinker on their back. On the outside, Renewed Vitality and More Strawberries. Then at the head of the others, Pinnacles and Willie Jimmy. Fortella trying to get to the outside, and Thank God You're Here and Sacred Choice have saved ground near the inside. Red Tracer straight up and hit the front. Led from on the outside, More Strawberries. Here comes Secret Admirer. She's starting to fly down the outside. Red Tracer in front. Secret Admirer starting to gobble it up out wide. Secret Admirer's hit the front. She takes the lead in the Epsom, and Secret Admirer raced away to beat Pinker. Photo for third, Willie Jimmy or Red Tracer. And then we've got him behind him, Pinnacles from Fortella, and then Sincero, and on the inside of it, Sacred Choice from Red Colossus, and then Triple Elegance followed by...
And then he's backed up beautifully, as you would expect, and a great big salute there before the line. And as Secret Admirer paid $9.90, $3.60, $2.60 for Pinker. And
I say, where are we here? Secret Admirer, Graham. Big punter you are. $16. Happy to look at that. $16. Happy to look at that.
Yeah, the 61s was all right about 2 months ago, so 16's looking pretty good.
Sound like Rick or Lacey.
4 flight stakes for the 3-year-old fillies. Bringing in a few different form lines. Of course, a lot of these fillies coming through the Furious and the flight stakes, but...
Streama. Now, it was $3.20 into 3. Then it got all the way back out to $3.
At the 600 and Tight Tess and Choice Words led from Halliwell Bell, and on the inside Shadow West Streama next, Pain in the Glass over on the rail, and Dowager Queen heads the others coming into the straight, and Tight Tess sprinted away, beat off Choice Words, and then Halliwell Bell. Streama comes to the outside. Pain in the Glass is giving them a bit of a start. Here comes Streama. She's starting to launch down the centre of the track. She raced up, hit the lead, put pay to them in one stride. This is a great filly. She's starting to open up now, Streama. Look at her go. She's 4, 5, 6 lengths in front. She's making an absolute mess of them. Streama by 6. Halliwell Bell second. Dowager Queen Bell. Streama comes to the outside. Pain in the Glass is giving them a bit of a start. Here comes Streama. She's starting to launch down the centre of the track. She raced up, hit the lead, put pay to them in one stride. This is a great filly. She's starting to open up now, Streama. Look at her go. She's 4, 5, 6 lengths in front. She's making an absolute mess of them. Streama by 6. Halliwell Bell second. Dowager Queen third. And then we've got Shadow West, followed by Roma Giaconda. Then Pain in the Glass, followed further back by Tight Tess.
Further back, Walter, this filly, well, she is the top of her generation. She's proven that, matched the Melbourne filly, Halliwell Bell, and beaten her and beaten all the other fillies, even with the pace more on there today than in the Furious and the T-Rose. She has just stamped her dominance, even time to look...
Flight stakes, and I don't think I've seen a more dominant flight stakes win. You go back to horses like Sunline and horses like that. I don't think I've seen a filly win a race like that so dominantly.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I don't think we're giving her the credit she deserves, and the trainer as well. He's a master, that guy, Walter, at just peaking a horse on the right day. He's every single box. Have a look at her. A deserved Triple Crown winner there. Conditions at Flemington today. So, but if they're getting rain and the track's slow to heavy, that's a little bit of a concern because of the
races, and she want to do something now.
Well, the centre draw. The market's got this absolutely bottom off a naturalism stakes win and gets no spoil at the weights. Yes, it's a step up in class, but the punters think this march towards the spring riches
continues to firm.
In the spring, I suppose, to some extent, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yesterday didn't beat much, but just shows you that these horses are Just ticking over nicely as they head towards there.
On the rail, last of all. Down the side, Glass Harmonium. 900 left to go, a length in front. Extra Zero, second, a length to Linton. 3/4 now, December Draw. Fourth on the outside, Poised. 1.5 Southern Speed. Fifth on the inside of Playing God. Then absolutely Shamrock on the rail from Raffaello Precedence. And 2 lengths away, Efficient on the inside and Rekindled Interest. 600 left to go. They're on the swing in the Turnbull. And Glass Harmonium has the lead, about a length in front of Extra Zero second. Linton, plenty of room to come through the inside as they drift towards the middle of the course. December Draw starting to work home and Playing God's on his back. Further back is Southern Speed and absolutely coming down the outside. Still Glass Harmonium, 300 to go. December Draw given full bore to go and chase him. Playing God running on. Linton can't get there. And back behind them absolutely. It's Glass Harmonium tackled by December Draw. 100 left to go. They'll fight it out. December Draw trying to get the Glass Harmonium. He kicks, but December Draw going home a little bit the better and won it by a half ahead. It's December Draw just from Glass Harmonium. 2 lengths. Playing God might get the third from Southern Speed. Shamrocker and absolutely finished together next, being followed.
Pretty excited.
You show it so well. As a stayer?
I think we saw a fair bit of it today. I mean, he's gone from a 72 rater in May to a Group 1. That's pretty good.
Some lucky owners here. We'll have a chat to them too. Good on you, Cav. Gary Tousell and
Flemington and December Draw did it again.
I'm his biggest fan, and it's the first time I've been a little worried about him. He just got a little aggressive for my liking coming into a...
Rave about his performance here, and it's worthy of praise, no doubt about that. You've got to rave about Glass Harmoniums because he's only been beaten by a lip, and he's made all in front, and he was kicking back on the line. So I think there's a horse that's been a little underestimated simply because he didn't win. He ran second. If he'd won that race, there'd be much greater hype around him.
Most prestigious horse races, and Shamie Heffernan has been confirmed as the rider for the horse. He's drawn in barrier 4.
How good is this Australian import? Well, very good is the answer. But will he prove himself?
Up at 14, he's been backed into 8.6. Very well supported here in France. The back of the field, Workforce is towards the side of this. Nakayama Festa and Workforce are next, so you think is still towards the back of the field with Nakayama Festa. Silver Pond is the only one behind those. They're into the Falls Straight and Treasure Beach just narrowly to stablemate St Nicholas Abbey. Charetta with a noseband on the outside. These 3 in line, and now St Nicholas Abbey is coming through to join Treasure Beach and go past him. Testosterone in third. Hirona D'Amore is in fourth place. Daydream in second position. Hirona D'Amore behind this. Daydream is next. Meandra trying to pick up as they head down to the closing stages now. And here up on the outside is Daydream to throw down the challenge. And in the orange jacket, Daydream has printed up a tremendous style to go through now. Charetta in second. St Nicholas Abbey. Snowfarer coming from the back of the field. Andrea Stark is celebrating already. Daydream has won by many lengths. A fantastic performance. Daydream, the German filly, has come through to really win this race in tremendous style. There's many disappointing horses.
I don't know what to think of her. There was nothing in her form to say that she was going to do this, destroy them. But look, hard race to assess. I'm still scratching my head about it, to tell you the truth. He was good. In saying that, he was pretty good, so you think.
Andrew, can I ask you...
Back into $6. 10's out in Pimento.
Savin. Shoe swap taking out the first event. Set, they're off. Set, Clement, Pimento, both a little bit slowly out. Ain't She Grand the best out. Toffler and He's a Knockout jump well. Toffler, the favourite, will settle down in about third spot. Pimento coming along the rail to improve to fourth from Neo Magic, Bilko, and then Said Com, and then Suits Us, who can't go at all early here. Division about 3 lengths on Said Com. Neo Magic on the outside. It's getting its ears scrubbed off. And then further back, Bilko, Fluctuations, and Suit Us not stretching out last. At the 5.50, Ain't She Grand a half in front. He's a Knockout second, Pimento third. Toffler the favourite fourth, and then Setcom, who's made up ground on the rail, but it's run out of room now, got nowhere to go. Neo Magic still struggling on the outside. It's been hard at work for a long way. Coming into the straight, Ain't She Grand led from He's a Knockout. Toffler's pulled to the outside. Setcom's trying to get into the clear. It's starting to run on strongly now. Ain't She Grand in front from Toffler. Here comes Setcom, starting to stretch out hard on the outside. Sedcom moved up, put play to them in one bound, and Sedcom's going to race away and win it well. Won by 2 lengths. Toffler second, H.E. Grand third. Then Bilko Fluctuations followed by Neo Magic. It was gone at the 700. And then He's a Knockout Suits Us, and last in was
Final 600, and the English interims there for you. 2 1/4 length.
The top's got $1.10 and $1.04. That's still is
106 on the track for Black Caviar.
and then she's just doing what she wants to do.
Yeah, look, she remains, and this is one of the major reasons they came here. These people wouldn't be able to take 106, 107, 110, whatever. They're just here to watch her and she
Get onto her stablemate, and Rara Kane last the inside. Karuta Queen nears the 500 by a length and a half. Black Caviar's moving into second on the outside of Platinum Sky. Then Cool Grinder Morgan Dollar. 2 lengths further back is Sterling Grove Tassos. Rara Kane is last, and Black Caviar's moved to the lead coming around the home turn ahead of Karuta Queen. Cool Grinder's trying to run on down the outside, and then Morgan Dollar and Platinum Sky down on the inside. But it is all about Black Caviar. She went past the 200, lengthening by 4 lengths. Away she goes. What a champion. 14 straight, and she's up there with the greatest ever. Black Caviar won it by 4.5. Second, Karuta Queen, Sterling Grove third. And then came Platinum Sky and Morgan Dollar. Cool Grinder couldn't go on. Rara Kane Tassos at the end. Isn't it just wonderful to watch?
Absolutely, Greg. Words don't need to describe that performance. Punters cheering here on track and clapping and to do it. I mean, obviously there's plenty in the taking. So this is the best campaign that she will have.
Listen, I think so. I think she's a fully mature horse. She's developed into a very imposing horse. And, I think, maybe the world's her oyster this racing season.
If we're on that, one and run second, there'll be a race for Sterling Grove.
And star of the show, without any doubt, was a Black Caviar. She dragged 32,000 fans through the gates, almost a Caulfield Guineas record. Will it have to be in modern times? And she didn't use someone who owned Black Caviar. We'll get to them.
Joe, I mean, it was just unbelievable scenes to see 32,000 there. And after 120, a large group obviously stayed around, but there were that come to see Black Caviar and left the track virtually straight after.
And marketing whiz kids and you have incentives and gimmicks. If you have a champion horse go to the races, people come and watch. It's a whether they
back here to Caulfield, Richie, building up towards the Group 1 age. Caulfield Guineas, the 3 Sydney Star Cultivar Smart Missile would be good enough. But
what you might get. He opened up $5. He's out to 6.
Here's Greg.
And he's being booted forward. Secret Hills got away quickly, and Manawanui was away very fast after 200 metres, and Manawanui has the lead. Helmet drives on, caught 3 wide. Secret Hills eases back, gets in third now as Helmet sits outside of Manawanui, and they tear away up the hill. It's Helmet going on. He's really burning off, and he goes to the front now by a length and a half. They've run it very solidly early. Helmet by 3 lengths finally from Manawanui, 3 Secret Hills. One away then, Smart Missile. Helmet the leader at the 800 metres. Can he do it both ends? He's out by 3 lengths to Manawanui. 2.5 lengths away, Secret Hills on the inside of Smart Missile. 2 to Hugel, followed by Spectre. And then General Offer, who's been passed by Chase the Rainbow. 600 left to go. Helmet by 1.5. Manawanui stalking everywhere. 2 lengths away then, Secret Hills on the inside of Smart Missile. Poised for his run. 2 to Hugel, and then came Spectre and Chase the Rainbow. They're on the swing in the Guineas now. Helmet the leader. Manawanui throws out the challenge. Smart Missile under the whip, 2 lengths away. Further back is Hugel. Nothing else making ground. Helmet the leader from Manawanui. And they're clear then from Smart Missile and Hugel. Helmet down on the inside, just the leader. He's kicking strongly. Manawanui trying his heart out. Helmet in front. Manawanui's getting there. Helmet by a nose. Manawanui's diving. They hit the line. Helmet, what a great Guineas win. He's won it from Manawanui. 4 lengths away, third Hugel. To the back is Hugel, nothing else making ground. Helmet the leader from Manawanui. And they're clear then from Smart Missile and Hugel. Helmet down to the inside, just the leader. He's kicking strongly. Manawanui trying his heart out. Helmet in front. Manawanui's getting there. Helmet by a nose. Manawanui's diving. They hit the line. Helmet, what a great Guineas win. He's won it from Manawanui. 4 lengths away, third Hugel from Spectre.
Again, it was a brilliant Guineas, and again, it was a brilliant performance. Helmet stalling off Manawanui in a thrilling drive to the wire here in sustained speed from start to finish. There was nothing left out in the track there. The best colt on the day wins it. And now Helmet en route, perhaps to a Cox Plate. That was brilliant. Manawanui made.
He ran lengths and lengths faster than the Rupert Clark. Today he's run lengths faster than the Toorak. He's done it all the way. Manawanui.
He's ever on dead for always a great race to Caulfield Guineas, and again yesterday it was.
If the race was run alongside the Toorak, you would have led them by 9 lengths. You would have led King McFaster by about 9 lengths, Kieran. But
I sure would have won.
Look, it's measuring up beautifully this form, and it ran 6 lengths faster overall.
When there was a 3-year-old thinking he's going to be mighty hard to beat.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's a different race, so we're going to have to construct a different sort of plan. But if he gets around Moonee Valley with 49.5, he's got to be hard to beat, definitely.
100 out, 200 out, 100 out. Fair play to the winner. He just wouldn't let me past.
Yeah. That's how it's ended up at Sporting Bet for the Cox Plate with Helmet $3.70 favourite. Jimmy Chu, Form Frank.
And a wonderful finish.
Not just speed, it was stamina. It was signs of reduced choice and set Testarossa singling out and fighting out the Guineas years ago. But boy, that race, the way it unfolded, you know, you changed your mind 6 or 7 times in the run who was going to win that race.
Well, because if you're watching here, this is where Helmet does most of the work. Now, that's up the hill at Caulfield. That is suicide tactics normally. If you ride a horse up the hill, they like that. The ones you pass on the way up pass you on the way down. But he just kept going. That was phenomenal. I thought he had to get tired in the straight. And when Manawanui went to him, I thought, well, fair enough, Helmet's run a fantastic race, but he's going to get beaten here. But he kept going. It's brilliant. I think he's a better horse.
Rich, yeah, $1.75. You can get on course about Atlantic Jewel. $2 the totes at the moment. We'll see what plays out there, but she's the focus of attention. Atlantic Jewel. Money coming, though, for Mosheen. 480 matches up pretty well at the moment. She's improved from the stable, is reflected in the fact in the way she parades today. She looked fantastic.
2 lengths Mosheen outside Celebrity Girl. 3 or 4 further back in the field, then Shani Rose. 2 lengths to Kneeling and then Raviel. 1 further back, Hello Well Bell. Atlantic Jewel peeling out wide down the side, and then came Crucial trying to get onto the back of the favourite, and Bliss Street is last. Cute Emily has the lead. 600 left to go in the 1,000 guineas. A length and a half clear. Disputes is second. Celebrity Girl third with Mosheen. Atlantic Jewels crept up to be 5th, and Shani Rose is trying to go with her, and then came Crucial and Hello Well Bell as they swing around the turn. 400 left to go, and Mosheen raced up to Cute Emily, but Atlantic Jewel is there in the twinkling of an eye at the home turn. Into the straight now, and Mosheen with Atlantic Jewel, the 2 favourites, pair down and race 3 lengths clear from Shani Rose, and Hello Well Bell finishing off down the outside, but it looks like it's all Atlantic Jewel. She left Mosheen behind. She sprints away. She opens up, and it's a devastating, brilliant win. Atlantic Jewel by 3 lengths Mosheen, 2 lengths to Shani Rose, Hello Well Bell 4, and then to Well Bell as they swing around the turn. 400 left to go, and Mosheen raced up to Cute Emily, but Atlantic Jewel is there in the twinkling of an eye at the home turn. Into the straight now, and Mosheen with Atlantic Jewel, the 2 favourites, pair down and race 3 lengths clear from Shani Rose, and Hello Well Bell finishing off down the outside, but it looks like it's all Atlantic Jewel. She left Mosheen behind. She sprints away. She opens up, and it's a devastating, brilliant win. Atlantic Jewel by 3 lengths Mosheen, 2 lengths to Shani Rose, Hello Well Bell 4, and then Disputes and Raviel, followed by Kneeling, Celebrity Girl, Bliss Street Cute.
Well, she's a superstar. It was like watching a movie, like watching one of those things that they set up for a movie, where she just went past Hello Well Bell about the 800-metre mark there as Rod poses for the photo, and just won that race between the 800 and the 600. And then before you looked at it, she had the race put away. Astonishing performance in 1:35.86. Brilliant. Can you get the lid off for a little bit?
Yeah, well, she can do many things that I haven't seen horses do before.
And you're
What did Moody say about with Black Caviar that she comes around this turn here that fast, you think she's going to slip over, her legs are going to fall off, and she does this at track work. You know, we run her up the last 2 with a mate, and she'll blow the mate away, but when I let her head go and give her a real squeeze, she just goes that quick. You think she's going to do some sort of injury. You've really got to sort of let them go through their gears.
She was brilliant today, but we haven't seen the best of her.
Yeah, I mean, if she was ridden properly and, ridden a patient race, then you probably see the best of her, but she's just that good. You don't want to risk anything with her, and you can ride her nice and arrogantly.
Exciting stuff. Great stuff, Michael. And the obvious question was, would you run her in the Cox Plate? I mean, the obvious temptation is to say yes.
Well, the rating figures say she's not far off Helmet, so and Helmet's running around in it, but it can gut him and
favourite.
And Samantha and favourite.
Well, I think Samantha Miss was a superstar, but I think she's better than Samantha Miss.
Miss Finland?
Better than Miss Finland.
The fact is, they don't win it. Like, they don't win it. There's only been one in history.
Yeah, but not many have run in it.
No, they haven't.
But
Not
some
many
very
have
good
run.
ones have and haven't won.
Yeah, and I think she's better than all of them.
The mayor's race for her. But look, they know what they're doing. You're so lucky, Richard. That this filly's not running in that Cox plate. The way you bag on these fillies, I'm telling you.
The Coolmore Connections are very wise racing people. They know that these 3-year-old fillies, no matter how good they are, get beaten up in a Cox plate, right? They get beaten up by those tough old horses. They get intimidated by them because they are 3-year-old fillies. And I reckon they made a very wise decision.
About to see is A Star in the Sepoy, and the betting will tell you that $1.20, $1.10. Tats at the moment
$1.24 into $1.22 for Sepoy.
Play here. Grand deals to come up into the line. So the champion 3-year-old Sepoy taking on the older horses with Platinum Sky out in front, just over a length. Sepoy coasting along second, 3 lengths further back, buffering Basil Demand. Midsummer Music starting her move, and then Curtana. Platinum Sky cornering just over a length in front. McAvoy hasn't asked Sepoy yet. They've balanced now for the run-in, and he releases the brakes on Sepoy, and he immediately responds and went to Platinum Passion. 3 lengths further back then is Midsummer Music. She's starting to finish off pretty strongly. Sepoy by 2 lengths, 100 to go. Katana and Midsummer Music are trying hard to get to him, but he's too good for them, Sepoy, and he won it by a length and a quarter. Moody's pair hit it together for the Miners. Katana the inside of Midsummer Music. They're about 4 lengths in advance of Perturbo.
And what he's done hasn't been done by very many horses, only champion horses, and believe me, he's one of them.
How many horses would you?
I mean, I think Kevin was trying to give him as easy a possible time once he got past the grade.
Today with one, 22 today with one bet of $500,000 on him, and he didn't disappoint. He was brilliant. Buffering.
Inside of Midsummer.
He'd been beaten once. He is a star, and considering yesterday that as a 3-year-old he carried more than weight for age, a lot more than weight for age, 2.5 kilos. Maxi did $1.30 for the big punters who stepped in, $500,000 on sporting bet on him. The last 3-year-olds to win it, Jet Spur 52, Campaign King 52.5 kilos. So good measure there in the performance. Time good.
He's carried 55.5. Well, he's carried 55.5 for a 3-year-old, which is outstanding.
Exactly.
And here, if you watch Karen McAvoy, he was just having a quick peek over his right shoulder. Then he looked at the screen on the inside. He knew what he was doing. I thought he might be taking it a bit
cap. He's got 55.5. He's back in distance. He's chasing a 1,000-metre horse, and he wins with authority.
Yes, he's outstanding.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
But all the festivities leading into the BMW Caulfield Cup have taken place. Jockeys 2,400 metres from the top of the straight. No, we're not. Hang on. Here we go.
It's about Macedonian. Down the bottom, Southern Speed at $11. There was good money for her after she drew well.
Ever looked in himself? He just doesn't carry any condition. He's had an exemplary.
December draw jumped nicely, and Mighty High got away very fast down on the inside. Drunken Sailor straight over their heels early. Tullamore began fast, and so did Dream Peddler. Here's Niwot going up quickly on the outside. December Draws dropped in just behind them. Shoot Off is going forward, but Beedman kicks through, and it's Mighty High who has the lead in a charge at the turn out of the straight. He left the fence. He's in front. He's hanging badly around that bottom turn. He's going out to the 2,000 in front of Lucas Cranach as well back to the railway side, followed by Macedonian, Unusual Suspect, and Doomskiers last of all. Less than 800 metres to go, and Mighty High by neck to Niwot, Dream Peddler. Green Moon wider out, and then Southern Speed waiting on a run. Precedence has been wide, and then Shoot Off Tullamore. Further back is Hawk Island. Manighar getting up on the inside. Back behind them then, Lucas Cranach coming around the outside, and Scepter Party. December Draws in awful trouble. He's back 4th last. He surely couldn't win from there. Green Moon led around the home turn. Southern Speed in the clear. Lucas Cranach coming down the outside, and then came Tullamore. 250 to go now. Green Moon with Southern Speed closing on the outside. Tullamore and Lucas Cranach are wider out. Peter getting through to the inside of the Manighar. 100 metres to go. Southern Speed. Southern Speed burst to the front now. Raced away, and Southern Speed won the Caulfield Cup. A length and a half to Green Moon, Tullamore, and close up Manighar the inside. Unusual Suspect got home from Lucas Cranach, and further back then.
It's a brilliant rise, but it was was. Numbers here confirmed.
And as soon as she drew the barrier, they backed her at big odds. Leon McDonald, one of the gentlemen of the turf, is
It's ethereal to win the BMW Caulfield Cup yesterday, and Craig Williams now has 3 of the majors. He needs a Melbourne Cup to come. Along with December draw, pass over to the veterinary surgeon of Racing Vibs, Richard Callender, to bring us up to speed.
Well, he's been diagnosed with a fracture of the lateral split bone in the off hind leg. Fracture. A long spell, he'll miss the autumn and he'll be come back for the next spring. If I had to cheer now and say, what do you like in the Melbourne Cup? I'd say Tullamore.
I'm not sure we saw the Melbourne Cup winner yesterday. Here's the Melbourne Cup market, and this is how it looks after yesterday. She is a Centrebet Geelong Cup, about 15 minutes away. The runner's not in the yard yet, but we'll see it become a truly international race, as we well know. Following the deeds of Americane, Bauer, who's back again this year to try and do it again. And, of course, the horse that started, really, Media Puzzle. Dunadan looked magnificent as he paraded here, as did America.
He's back fifth last on the rail. Further back in the field then is the Kiwi galloper, and that is Back in Black. Starting to make ground now is Dunadan, but he's a long way off them, but pulling out for Williams. 2 lengths to Human, above average, brought up the cup field. Perfect Picks, the big horse straight to the front. Tanby's right on his tracks, a length and a half away with I'm Jake the inside. Coming around them, Show Cause, and starting its run now quickly is the French horse. Dunadan's wide out, but he's made up a stack of ground very quickly. In the home running in the Geelong Cup, Perfect Picks leads Tanby. Dunadan's coming with a magnificent run down the centre, and he went to them in one stride. The French horse trying to do American. He raced to the front now from Tanby. It's Dunadan in front of Tanby. Show Cause and Back in Black. Dunadan leads the way, and the French do it again. Dunadan won the cup from Tanby. And what about Bauer? He was brave late. Show Cause fourth, Perfect Picks fifth. Back in Black ran a race from Spachenka Hume. They were followed well back by I'm Jake, Red Eye Special. Ran a race U-turn. You can't beat the French.
Brilliant staying performance here by Dunadan, and he'll rocket up the charts now for the Emirates Melbourne Cup. As impressive with the maximum weight this year as was America. Job done on a bit of class.
Definite bonus win. Class won him today, not fitness.
Fantastic. Well done, Jeffrey. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Jeffrey Faber, we'll see what he thought of the win, but to our eye, Shane, that was pretty good. American last year. Good call. And it's going to get 3.5 kilos off American this year. Yeah, Vars coming up this year. Mitchell Wines, the naming sponsor of the Vars, of course, a final preparation for the Derby, where Manawanui is the favourite for this, and of course isn't the true benchmark for the Derby contenders. Amalfi will last to go through the Norman Robinson and win it. $1.10, $1.04, $1 tats. Well, you can expect that.
Away third. Manawanui given every possible hope. He's fourth on the outside, 3.5 off the leader, and Schofield just sits quietly still. Shelto's second last, and I Feel Good. So Collar in front, coming up towards the bend now. He's about 2 lengths in front. Here comes Manawanui. The favourite's chasing him down. He's 2 lengths away, starting to wind up. Power Breaker under pressure, third from Shelto. So Collar the leader. He's a length in front of Manawanui. So it's the 2 favourites clear from Power Breaker. Shelto. They're on the bend now. Collar by a half. Manawanui look to be travelling well. And now on the outside, Schofield says, let's go. Manawanui claims Collar. Drew a length in front. It's going to be soft. He's coming away, Manawanui. And the Derby favourite scored by just over 2 lengths to Collar. A length away, Shelto. I Feel Good. Power Breaker. And a distant last, Tanichi.
Well, pretty easy work in the end for the Derby favourite winning the Vars. A nice blow. Of course, they've got to beat. We'll look at the market shortly. Maxi Div $1.22, $600,000 bet on it. Numbers we're talking about at the shorts. They just don't go under, Rich. They're not going under these bodies. That's the thing. The crowd around it. No, it's not. Sometimes racing's not about the punt. Unless you've got about $1 million on it. Here's the prices. Let's have a look what's happening. $1.04 on Victor, $1.04, and started a lot closer, but she gets slower the more she walks around.
Couldn't care less, could she? She just more than this. It doesn't go any lower than 105. So for that, read 103. Okay, punters, 103 she is. And she's $1, Bruce.
33 to 1 on. We're getting to Ajax territory here.
Comes down the side. Doubtful Jack, the leader. About a length in front of Black Caviar. A length and a half Scenic Blast on the inside. And here the Angel staying in touch with them as they go by the school. Doubtful Jack, the leader. Nolan just slips the Great Mare a little bit more leather, and she gets up within a neck of the leader. Here the Angels cheekily got up a length and a half third, and Scenic Blast is last, but she takes over the running now, Black Caviar, and kicks away. This is the great acceleration we come to see. Into the straight she goes, and if you've come to see the greatest, here she is. Black Caviar opening up by about 5 or 6 lengths. 15 straight. She just keeps trotting them out, and she probably hasn't had many easier than that. Black Caviar won it by about 5 on the line. To Doubtful Jack, here the Angels stayed at the tail.
That's 15. That's what the crowd came to see. It was always going to be easy, and she made it look easier than anyone perhaps would have thought. She makes it look so effortless when...
Oh, look, it's a little bit overwhelming, you know, like...
About 5 or 6 lengths, 15 straight. She just keeps trotting them out, and she probably hasn't had many easier than that. Black Caviar won it by about 5 on the line. To Doubtful Jack, here the Angels, and Cindy Clark.
They was going as good as they could behind, and they were a long way behind. 6 lengths. That equalled her biggest winning margin ever, 6 lengths. She did that. Look, the max she did was $1.05 because one punter had 900 fails on sporting bet. Now, of course, that put her alongside Carbine Burnborough. Now, this is the undefeated. Now, she's got to get to 54. 54 for Kenskin.
I don't think she'll race that much.
They stood to attention to watch the champ in action. What more can be...
Look, you're watching the best sprinter in the history of this country, and that in itself is something to savour. It's getting easier for her because the opposition's getting worse. Peter Moody's having to nominate a stablemate just so that if everything else drops out at acceptance time, they'll still run the race. She's enormous. Fantastic.
Well, she's an absolute champion. Yeah. A great call. Love the call, Greg Miles. What else can you say?
She'll build any comers up. You know, she is the best horse over 6 furlongs we'll ever see.
Well, she won't be...
Mooney Valley Cup. Total there. You've got the Melbourne Cup favourite too. You've seen Manawanui Derby favourite. You've seen the superstar Black Caviar. Now you've got the Cup winner of last year at American, $3 on the table. Let's get stuck into the yards against Black Caviar. I had to give it two. So strange. Set weights and penalties. Have a look at this. Is one of the most magnificent horses you will see. If he's not Sammy's top pick from the yard.
The rails in 5th placing American. On his outside, a neck away, Tullamore. 2 lengths behind these horses, Swooper on the fence, and then Harris Tweed and Anajuan, and now Shawanna's back last of all. 7 lengths covered them, and Pagola momentarily took the lead, and Elo's on the scene. Lalarook back behind them, followed by Tullamore and Paddy O'Reilly. Now Mosheen is starting to get to work on American. He's come away from the fence, but he's being ridden along as they sweep up towards the turn where Elo goes to the lead. Tullamore half length away from Paddy O'Reilly. Shawan from the back of the field runs on. American gets clear and he's coming home. It's Elo tackled by Tullamore, and now a length away American poised and is about to let down into the straight now, and American raced up to Tullamore, and American takes the lead. The Cup winner drawing away. He's beautiful style, and American won the Mooney Valley Cup by 2 lengths. Tullamore second, Elo ran third, and Nudgewood and Shawan in a photo next.
He is a superstar stayer, and
to do what he did, he looked still like the run was going to do in the world of good. He looked big in condition. To lose your momentum, have to squeeze through, and then pick him up in 2 bounds.
Look at him having finds the line.
He was awesome.
First run since the...
I think American will win 2 in a row, but I think Dunedin the other day, and obviously meets it better at the weights, it may well be his danger. I doubt the Cup staying here. Taking a realistic knockout chance, Tullamore.
France. The story here for the Tats Cox Plate is going to be the weather conditions. There is a bad storm about 20 minutes away from the centre of Melbourne. The Cox Plate is 21 minutes away. So yes, that helmet has been sensationally backed to win this race. It's been $3.50 to $3 with Sporting Bet Australia, and they are hammered with it here. There's a look at the tape market for this, and you can see on the tape there, $3.83.
They're off. Glass Harmonium missed it. Wall Street about a length slow also. Helmet away very, very fast. Lion Tamer began quickly. Down on the inside, King's Rose, Sincero. Jimmy Shue got away well. Helmet crosses over, finds the lead. Lion Tamer goes with him with a lap to go. Then King's Rose right on the back of the leader. Going up, Ave Innes and Jimmy Shue. He's a handy 5th turning out of the straight. 900 left to go. And Helmet uncontested in front, led by a length. Second is Lion Tamer. Over on the inside, King's Rose, Jimmy Shue a half length away 4th. 2 lengths to Ave Innes 5th, and then rekindled interest in Siren. Efficient over on the outside as they come around the 800 turn. Plain God trying to follow him home. then Shamrocker, followed by Pinker, Secret Admirer, Wall Street and Glass Harmonium at the 600 metres now, and Lion Tamer, and he goes up and he puts pressure on Helmet, and they go together from Jimmy Shue third. King's Rose waiting on a run. Around them now Efficient, Rekindled Interest putting in his run, and they're followed by Pinker getting up on the fence, and then Playing God. Around the turn, Lion Tamer gone. Jimmy Shue's raced up to Helmet. Pinker getting into the clear. Jimmy Shue, the leader, into the straight from Helmet. Then Pinker, Rekindled Interest. Jimmy Shue in front. Pinker coming down the outside. It's Jimmy Shue tackled by Pinker. Pinker's taken the lead. Pinker in front, and she won it. Pinker won the Cox Plate from Jimmy Shue and Rekindled Interest. Close up is Secret Admirer, who got home, followed by Wall Street, King's Rose. Helmet weakened in the run home, followed by Efficient, and then Sincero, Playing God. Back behind those to finish Ave Innes.
Craig Williams doing this spring carnival. He produces a gem of a ride here on Pinker to deliver a knockout blow. And what a special ride.
What a week. Caulfield Cup, Geelong Cup and Cox Plate in the space of 7 days, Sammy. That's what
for me.
There are your interim dividends for Inglis on the 2011 Cox Plate. Pinker wins it.
Well, the difference was the Clyde was probably too good for him, whereas Pinker probably wasn't too good for him, probably needed things to fall their way, maybe. It was great.
Big Williams, what can you say? He rode the script in the Caulfield Cup. He dead set wrote his own there yesterday. It was one of the best rides I've seen in years.
Talk about the favourite, Helmet, the 3-year-old.
He proved that in the Guineas. He's proved that all the way through his career.
3-year-olds,
yeah,
maybe not against them.
I just think it comes down. He didn't stay. His pedigree says he's not a stayer, and it's a whole from the mile to the 2000. It's a whole new pain barrier.
The running of the Wakeful Stakes, a race that history has not been too kind to the winner of the 1,000 Guineas, and the 1,000 Guineas winner this year, of course, is this outstanding filly, Atlantic Jewel, on the tote at $1.30. Pain in the glass.
It is Atlantic Jewel, open 126, just gets out a fraction to 128.
Down on the inside as they go down towards the home turn. Atlantic Jewel is now peeling out 3 wide around Pain in the Glass and Dowager Queen at the end. 600 metres to go. They're on the swing for home. La Delta Diva's going to corner in front of Bliss Street. Here's Atlantic Jewel now. Rod's creeping around the field. And she's in within about 3 lengths of the leading horses as they're on the swing into the straight now. Atlantic Jewel racing up wide on the course to go out after Ravel, who'd gone to the lead. Gliding's trying to get over heels of the front runner. She's working home. Bliss Street is boxing on the inside of Atlantic Jewel. Just ambled away from them and kicked about 2 to 3 lengths in front. Gee, she's good. Opening up by 4 lengths now from Ravel. Bliss Street gliding. Dowager Queen coming home. But this is absolutely outstanding. Atlantic Jewel by 5 and won it very easily. Ravel second, Dowager Queen third. The swing into the straight now. Atlantic Jewel racing up wide on the course to go out after Ravel, who'd gone to the lead. Gliding's trying to get over heels of the front runner. She's working home. Bliss Street is boxing on the inside of Atlantic Jewel. Just ambled away from them and kicked about 2 to 3 lengths in front. Gee, she's good. Opening up by 4 lengths now from Ravel. Bliss Street gliding. Dowager Queen coming home. But this is absolutely outstanding. Atlantic Jewel by 5 and won it very easily. Ravel second, Dowager Queen third from Gliding and Bliss Street. And behind them is Gale, who'd gone to the lead. Gliding's trying to get over heels of the front runner. She's working home. Bliss Street is boxing on the inside of Atlantic Jewel. Just ambled away from them and kicked about 2 to 3 lengths in front. Gee, she's good. Opening up by 4 lengths now from Ravel. Bliss Street gliding. Dowager Queen coming home. But this is absolutely outstanding. Atlantic Jewel by 5 and won it very easily. Ravel second, Dowager Queen third from Gliding and Bliss Street. And behind them is Geo.
She's remarkable. She is the story in many ways of the spring. I know Black Caviar and Sepoy, but we knew they were great. But this filly is great, isn't she?
She was, Bruce, and he rode her like a good thing. What I mean by that, at the 800-metre mark, Michael Rod decided to keep her out of trouble, pop her out 3 deep. Then she was 4 and 5 deep, rounding the straight at Flemington. That meant he gave her every possible chance to hit the line and gallop out like she did. Ravel was a fantastic.
Like, how good is she? Yeah, let's see. That's probably the easiest win I've ever ridden, I think. She absolutely liked him. She had the race on Kavanagh's handle.
Like, you go out on her and you...
And Mark Kavanagh, when I came to you, all you could do was raise your eyebrows. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I haven't seen much like that before.
Just an exercise.
This is right. This is surround type stuff. Surround in her year, virtually from 1400 up to the Oaks distance of 2500, was just far too good for fillies. She was far too good for some older horses and colts as well. But this is very reminiscent. I know
Best meeting of the year, I think. But it was a little filly that stole the show, I think, in the Group 2, Atlantic Jewel. She is something special. Maybe, like Surround was in her day. She just got that aura about her.
It's an absolute star, Joey. She is fantastic, Atlantic Jewel. I don't think I've seen a stronger performance from the 3-year-old filly. I saw some.
We've got some breaking news, significant news, and Glenn Munsey's joining us as well, Joe, because Atlantic Jewel is out of Thursday's VRC Oaks. Mark Caviar about 10 minutes ago texted me saying she was a doubtful starter. Now the confirmation is that she's pulled a hamstring, and Atlantic Jewel is out of Thursday's VRC.
The shortest priced Oaks favourite you'd ever seen. So look, hopefully she recovers from that little stretch of a hamstring there, and we'll see the best of her next preparation.
Glide into the race and then sprint away from them like they weren't there.
At the end of 2,000 metres, Bruce had almost the fastest last 200 of the day. He's down. There you go.
It's amazing.
No, a bit scared.
At Flemington, 2 odds on favourite successful. The first one, Galas Scrambles in, terrified us. The next one was terrifying just to watch how brilliant she was, Atlantic Jewel. And we've got a shorty coming up with Sepoy in this race. He's well and truly.
They said, thank you very much. Got down to as low as 128. Now just back out.
He's grand. This is a race reserved for the top-notch 3-year-olds, the Coolmore, formerly the Ascot Vale Star.
Ball, 600 left to go, and Satin Shoes, unique quality with Sepoy, about a length away on the outside of the leaders. Just behind them, Hot Schnitzel in the red colours, getting up on the inside ahead of Zamora. Bear Hero under a lot of pressure. Foxwedge trying to run on, and back behind them, Adamantium. Uate's towards the end. Masthead now starting his sweep at the 300. Satin Shoes being grabbed by Sepoy. Hot Schnitzel, Zamora the far side. Here's Foxwedge, he's in the clear now, but Sepoy went to the lead at the clock tower, raced away a length and a half on Satin Shoes, Zamora. Foxwedge starting to come home well. Sepoy under the whip, the leader. Foxwedge is having the last launch at him. Sepoy hanging on, getting tight. Sepoy hangs on and wins it from Foxwedge. He got there by about a neck. 2 lengths, Zamora or Satin Shoes. They're in a photo for the miners. Up there to Adamantium, who finished off. Hot Schnitzel didn't give in, and behind to Adam.
He's not as dominant here as he has been against these 3-year-olds previously, and I get the feeling he might just be coming towards the end of his preparation. He didn't show.
Now, poor old Dr. Bateman, second and third. Johnny O'Shea, well, he sought counselling after Foxwedge went under in the narrowest of margins there. He saw $10 million become not much difference between a colt winning a Group 1 and second. But
He's destined for the international stage, and perhaps finally we'll see that showdown with Black Caviar at Royal Ascot next year.
Yeah, still a long way off, but look, all credit to Peter Snowden and his team there. They picked this horse up 3 times in a preparation. They brought him back into work for this race.
I think he's come to the end of his preparation, and what a good preparation he's had. Pretty brilliant. But I think he showed fighting qualities yesterday, which, just go with the horse. He's a tremendous talent, and he'll be a real force in Europe, and I'm sure that's where he'll go. They may leave him here for autumn. I don't know. They're hoping that.
Race for this year's McKinnon Stakes. There looks to be quite a few chances. The main form reference punters saying could come from the Cox Plate, which has been a good lead up to this race in recent.
Yeah, look, this is probably D-Day for precedence, isn't it, really, today? He'd have to do an old-fashioned, cup from third last, get into 4th or 5th, and
Gallop and Glass Harmonium a length and a half. Gingadood second, a length and a half away in third, placing now Murian. Lights of Heaven losing touch a little down on the inside, and they're followed Sincero, who's had a wide run, Midas touched the middle. Foreteller's off the rail, and he's going to be able to work his run home, I would think, from there. They're followed by Rekindled Interest, and then came Southern Speed and Precedence, efficient second last, and the Verminator. Around the turn, Glass Harmonium flattened in about 2 lengths on Gingadood. Foreteller coming up on the inside, Murian next. Down the outside came Rekindled Interest. Midas Touch was struggling, so too Southern Speed. Glass Harmonium still with a long lead. About 3 or 4 lengths in front from Murian. Rekindled Interest coming down the outside, then Southern Speed. Glass Harmonium with 100 metres to go, led by 2 lengths, Murian and Rekindled Interest. Glass Harmonium a length and a half. Murian starting to close. Glass Harmonium too good though. Glass Harmonium 3/4 on the line to Murian second, Rekindled Interest third. Southern Speed ran 4th, and then Foreteller. Gingadood, Sincero.
Recompense them. I mean, I know they felt hard done by the ownership there, but
the remnants of a bad day out at Moonee Valley. Actually did there at $7. Moraine was fantastic.
AB just a minute or so ago. Let's go down the tote odds before we flip over to Shane. Turak top at $8.40. Thank God you're here at $9.90. Runner, $17 for him. And then down we go to Amathon 14. Lene now $4. Second last Wirram, and the big bloke Largo Lad is last of all. Listen, son, the leader, 600 left to go from Rodriguez and Lunin.
Lune just behind these, about a length and a half away as they're on the swing. They're in front of Doubtful Jack, Chosen to Fly. Chasm coming the widest. Niblick trying to find a way through traffic. Happy Zero and Amathon get up along the inside. 400 metres to go now. Lune comes with his run. Amathon along the rails. They're the leaders now from Chosen to Fly. Chasm. Here comes Wirral. It's coming up the middle of the course with a big finish. And then came Thank God You're Here. It's Wirral. Amathon down on the inside. They've beaten off Lune. Thank God You're Here is running on, but it's Wirral clear with 100 to go. Opening up now. And Wirral comes right away and wins it by 2 lengths to Thank God You're Here. Close go for third. Amathon on the rail and Turex on from Spacecraft and Lune, who weakened out after hitting the leader fairway out. Further back,
You can have a look at the Queenslander, Wosheen in the last.
from Amathon down on the inside, they've beaten off Lune. Thank God You're Here is running on, but it's Wirral clear with 100 to go. Opening up now, and Wirral comes right away and wins it by 2 lengths to Thank God You're Here. Close go for third. Amathon on the rail and Turex off from Spacecraft and Lune, who weakened out after.
Oh, he's a good performer, this horse. He now goes to the Emirates next week. He deserves a chance. And another example of how
and now it's totally switched.
You'd have to take this track any day of the week. Any day of the week over a leader's track on a big day.
Oh, we'll take a Rain Lover. Lots of Lope was able to do it twice, of course. Sorry, Think Big twice, and then McCollum Diva factors in twice, first and second, and third. So it's American for their rides. Lemaire sitting by in the event that Williams fails, and I think Brad
Bruce, the favourite is American. The last the winner of the race last year, 460. Of course, with the 50, I said there hasn't been any. The Long Cup winner is a clear second favourite. Of course, the path that American came last year, it's been sort of 11 into 750. They're the only two under in. Now to get a couple that have conservative ride, Dunedin, we bet as much as $41. He's now into $7.50.
I mean, number 9. I reckon Lucas Greenwich, terrific.
What I saw at Mini Valley, when he lost momentum and then still picked him up in 2 strokes.
It's a Long Cup, Dunedin. Just the form's proving perfect into the
That set through last year by American to be backed up this year by
Dunedin.
For Richard, this year is the hardest race of all times. I'm going to go with the percentages to stick with American to beat Dunedin. We've seen them. They're
better. American. Sure hands this year. Simon O'Donnell tipping American last.
Watching Sky Racing tomorrow, we'll let you know what happens with Craig Williams.
It's the tote favourite at $4.
To 550, back into 5.
About 1,300 metres left to go. It's Elo the leader. Cummings pair out in front for the time being. At the 1,200 metres, Elo by 3 lengths precedence. 3 lengths Manighar, Jukebox Jury at first sight running down in 5th placing. A length and a half Boyon Corniche down on the inside rail, followed by Niwot on his outside. Then came the Verminator, 1,000 to go. Moden next from Drunken Sailor, Lucas Cranach, Shamrocker out wide. Tullamore next, and then Dunedin about 10 off the leader. Followed Hawk Island and Fox Hunt, Red Cadeau. And then came Glass Harmonium, Scepter Party, American with a lot to do today. Then Unusual Suspect and Older Than Time. On the swing, and it's the 2 Cummings runners still. Elo the inside and precedence. The challengers are coming. Niwot around the outside, puts in his run. Moden's off the track, Manighar comes on. Then came at first sight looking for the way clear. Dunedin trying to find a way through. Lucas Cranach on the scene with a big run. With 300 metres to go now. Precedence hit the lead, but Manighar challenges strongly. Lucas Cranach and getting up on the inside. Lost at the moment with a challenge. Here's Red Cadeau starting to flash home on the outside now. Lucas Cranach hit the lead. Red Cadeau coming down the outside. Dunedin is coming through in the middle. Dunedin, Red Cadeau and Lucas Cranach. Dunedin is coming hard. Dunedin, Red Cadeau. Dunedin and Red Cadeau, they hit the line. A photo finish between Dunedin and Red Cadeau, nothing in it. Third placing Lucas Cranach, I'd say, from American. The precedence hit the lead, but Manighar challenges strongly. Lucas Cranach and getting up on the inside. Lost at the moment with a challenge. Here's Red Cadeau starting to flash home on the outside now. Lucas Cranach hit the lead. Red Cadeau coming down the outside. Dunedin is coming through in the middle. Dunedin, Red Cadeau and Lucas Cranach. Dunedin is coming hard. Dunedin, Red Cadeau. Dunedin and Red Cadeau, they hit the line. A photo finish between Dunedin and Red Cadeau, nothing in it. Third placing Lucas Cranach, I'd say, from American. Not much between those two. Just off those horses, Manighar. Fox Hunt, who came back. Niwot battled away next, followed by Precedence at first sight. Fox.
It's about as close as you'll ever get. It's Bowron viewed all over again, isn't it? I mean, it's Michael Rod on the outside, Christoph.
I mean, apart from Lucas Cranach, nearly all Europeans.
Yeah, and they have just taken the lot here. Still don't know who's won this. This could be a dead heat. This could be a stretch. Yeah, the inside loose by that.
Which one? Me. That's two points.
Is that a gap just in between? Now they're going for Dunedin. Well, the French do it again, and this young man.
Because it is so close. I mean, 10 years ago, before this digital photography, it would have been called a dead heat, and I always think it should be, but Dunedin's got his nose just on the line.
Past the line, David. All internationals.
Well, the first Aussie was Nowat in 8th, in Octavia number 23. But let's focus on the winner here, Dunedin, through the Geelong Cup. What an absolute dream run he had in transit, Sam. He got the run through.
It's been close finishes here all day at Flemington, but none closer than what we just saw then. The numbers 3, 12, 9 and 1.
Between Dunedin and Red Cadeau, nothing in it. Third placing Lucas Craddock, I'd say, from American. Not much between those two. Just off those horses, Manighar, Fox Aduke.
Well, there was a millimetre in it, and great scenes there on Tuesday. Dunedin, Macau.
His price tag and his pedigree. Dunedin was picked up out of the Arcana mixed sale in France in 2006 for €1,500. Sold to a Dutch breeder, was then plucked out of that stable as a 3-year-old after winning in France. Who would have thought he'd go on to one of the biggest stages in the world to win the greatest staying race, the Emirates Melbourne Cup? Ronnie, I know you were a fan of him.
Oh, for sure, especially after Geelong. He's just had a beautiful attitude. He relaxed. And look at him fight here towards the finish. He was terrific.
C'est une lutte à mort.
What's that?
A fight to the finish.
The horse on the outside, Red Cadeau, he's got a white nose. You could make a case that that little white nose wasn't shown up in that photo finish.
Right. A lot of people said, why didn't they just... If you consider Lucas Cranach an international, which he qualified overseas and he only had 2 runs in Australia so far, the first 8 over the line, they're all international horses.
I didn't.
Melbourne Cup is getting a better and better horse race, and now you're probably going to need 52.5 or 53 to fit into that 24 horse field.
Then I post the Oaks as we build up. About 2. David at the board. Mosheen 490, Dowager Queen 360, gliding at $5.
It was backing this morning though. Dowager Queen 350.
800 left to go in the Oaks, and Mosheen, she's had an easy run. Can she run the trip? She led by 3/4. Ravel, Geo, gliding, creeping a bit closer. Dowager Queen poised. Victoria the rail as they're coming around the turn. Then Flame of Lanka, fallen 1. Well back Pentimento, Lady Jouster, and going ahead of her, Roma Giaconda as they swing around the turn. Still Mosheen had the lead. She's out by 2 lengths. Ravel, Victoria, Geo boxing on. Gliding next, can't go on. Dowager Queen, but Mosheen, she sprinted away from them at the 300. She opened up 4 lengths on Dowager Queen, Roma Giaconda and Victoria, but it is all Mosheen with 120 metres to go. She's 5 or 6 lengths in front, dictated it out in front, and Danny Nicolic's going to finally win this Oaks, and Mosheen romped it in by 7 lengths. Dowager Queen, Roma Giaconda, swing around the turn. Still Mosheen had the lead. She's out by 2 lengths. Ravel, Victoria, Geo boxing on. Gliding next, can't go on. Dowager Queen, but Mosheen, she sprinted away from them at the 300. She opened up 4 lengths on Dowager Queen, Roma Giaconda and Victoria, but it is all Mosheen with 120 metres to go. She's 5 or 6 lengths in front, dictated it out in front, and Danny Nicolic's going to finally win this Oaks, and Mosheen romped it in by 7 lengths. Dowager Queen, Roma Giaconda, Victoria in 4th, and then Geo. Back behind them, Pentimento gliding, didn't finish it off, nor did Ravi. Victoria in 4th, and then Geo.
The triple, she led all the way. She won like Atlantic Jewel, to be honest. She won by the same margin that she won by in the Wakeful. She's by the same sire Fastnet Rock. Robert Smurden, well done, because I think on Saturday night, nobody thought this filly would back up. Of course, Atlantic Jewel then is scratched, and he's able to bring up from 1,600, never raced beyond 1,600. Danny Nicolic has been in the news for a lot of the wrong reasons, to be honest, over the last couple of years. Well, he's had a good day today.
He's a very good rider and a front runner, Danny. He knows just how fast to go to keep them working behind him, but slow enough to give himself this sort of energy at the end. And then she just burst away when she was asked.
Very, very impressive. Look at the distance.
Today she's won the VRC Crown Oaks by 8 lengths. Well, we've sung her praises for a while. Let's give a word now to Danny Nicolic, Sammy. The numbers are 1, 2, 5 and 7. Mosheen, a comprehensive winner. of the 2011 VRC Crown Oaks.
She was awesome. Well done to Dan Nickley. Special congratulations to Phil Sly, who raced the horse. She was awesome. She was as great as what we thought Atlantic Jewel would have been. That doesn't matter.
They're both exceptional, aren't they? But, I mean, Mosheen was beating the other fillies as easily as Atlantic Jewel was beating her. So
What have the margins been for Atlantic Jewel? Like 7 by 9? But Tempo was wonderful ride. And you see it.
A marvellous performance. Like she's gone from the slipper to the Oaks in the same year. She would have beat her.
Not by that far, though.
Atlantic Jewel would have beat her.
I don't think she'd have put another 6 on her, not on this performance.
No. She would have been.
Would have been a good contest.
It would have been a contest, but she's a freak of nature. This is Atlantic Jewel. She's the find of the carnival.
Atlantic Jewel and Mosheen, they are the highest class 3-year-olds. They are fantastic 3-year-olds.
You said that about Streama. What about Streama?
And Streama is in that group, I think. I think there's a good group there.
See the greatest. If you've come to see the greatest, here she is.
He is without doubt one of the greatest race horses ever to grace our great turf here in this country and around the world. She's something special. She's only about 30 minutes away from hopefully making it 16 straight. Barring all incidences, you would say that is a foregone conclusion. And we'll have a look at the totes just because that's what we do. I can tell you she's unwreckable. But, you know.
Like the walk up the Warrnambool Hill only triple and 4 times as many, and far more.
They're racing. Black Caviar gets a pretty good getaway. Peak and Midsummer Music towards the end. 800 left to go, and it's buffering the leader. Black Caviar sitting well away from the rails. Looked to be idling along in second placing. Tracked up then by Katana. Response in the red cap over on the outside, and then Scenic Blast. Midsummer Music and Peak is at the end of the field. So it's buffering only narrowly. Black Caviar at the 400 metres actually might have taken over the running here. Black Caviar in front now from buffering Katana, Scenic Blast. Response, Midsummer Music. They pass the 300 metres, and Luke Nolan hasn't released the brakes on the great mare. Out she goes. She's 3 lengths in front now. The Wonder Mare. Black Caviar now by 3, opening right up on buffering and Kurtana. But the mighty champion is going to make it 16 straight. We've never seen the like of her before. Black Caviar won it by 3 buffering, stayed on for second. So it's buffering only narrowly. Black Caviar at the 400 metres actually might have taken over the running here. Black Caviar in front now from buffering Kurtana, Scenic Blast. Response, Midsummer Music. They pass the 300 metres, and Luke Nolan hasn't released the brakes on the great mare. Out she goes. She's 3 lengths in front now. The Wonder Mare. Black Caviar now by 3, opening right up on buffering and Kurtana. But the mighty champion is going to make it 16 straight. We've never seen the like of her before. Black Caviar won it by 3 buffering, stayed on for second. Midsummer Music, Katana.
How she does it. She does it differently. She's different to anyone we've ever seen before. It's an effortless motion, and it is seemingly always pricked, alert, knowing that she's grinding them into the dust.
About her, the 16 wins, the fastest sprinter we've seen, the best sprinter we've seen. She does not hold the track record anywhere in the country.
Well, that's Luke's fault.
Yeah. Go, Luke. What are you doing?
Yeah, you just getting it sweet 16 in a row, eclipsing the record of Turf Legends Carbine and Burnborough. What more can be said? That was simply a stroll in the park and the easiest $600,000 she'll ever earn.
Well, I'll tell you this, and this will be taken out of context and taken the wrong way. This is a superstar mare. This is not horse racing. They might as well save the place prize money and just put on the $600,000 exhibition gallop, because that's all this is. It's not their fault. They've got the greatest sprinting mare in the world. There's no doubt. I don't think she'll ever be beaten. She is unbelievable, all of that. But it's not racing now. She's just too good for them.
Connections. And he's going to lead this field of 5 out onto the track for the race they name in his honour, the Zipping Classic. And brings together a field of internationals, doesn't it? And Lamar
30 the tote, so that's where
4 lengths covered them, 800 left to go. It is rather developing into a sprint home. Murian by a half to Manighar, 2 lengths to Sapta Party, a half length away American. He's just idling, it looked like, and then 2 lengths to Lamasery, less than 600 in it now, and Murian cranks it up and goes for home into the straight, leads by a length to Manighar. American now called on. He's being asked to go now. Septiparty's putting in a bit of a run down on the inside. Lamasery last. 400 left to go. Septiparty's got up on the inside. Manighar on the outside. They've claimed Murian. Now American. Here comes American. He's winding up. He's got him surely at the 200. American raced up to Manighar. Murian coming back on the inside. American about a neck in front. Mossay's looking after him. He won it easily. American 3/4 to Manighar, I'd say, a nose to Murian for second. Behind them, Lamasery, Septiparty.
The course record, you can see how slow they went at Dead 5 track, but you summed it up straight after the race, Bruce. Class. The right horse won. It takes a minute to wind up.
But I had to be so impressed with American. He's just a phenomenal racehorse, and he's going to go to...
Things would have went, run of the race stuff would have went his way. He would have won that as well. So he should nearly be unbeaten here in Australia.
I think people compare him, and I think rightfully, to Makybe Diva. I think he's as good a 2-miler as she was in this country, and that's saying something because everyone's got a very soft spot for her, and rightly so.
Score on the program, and Barrackey, the unbeaten 4-year-old by Key Business, is the dominant favourite. No surprises at $1.20. Has only had the 5 starts. That is
Now, old fella, but Brown slipped him a bit of rain and Barrackey sailed away. In the straight, he put 4 Dante's Diamond. Mabel Grace can't go on. Answers are behind them. He shakes him up, coming to the 150. There's a prolonged look around the right shoulder. He'll ease him up, and Barrackey's coming away. And this is 6 of the best. 6 in a line. Barrackey unextended by 2 lengths. Answers are. Gets up for second inside Dante's Diamond. Mabel Grace, well, they tried something a little different there, but it came unstuck. Followed by Impatient Times.
The price. I'll be waiting till she gets on the plane before I took that $1.12. Barrackey.
That horse won his 6th straight yesterday, and
he
did
broke
it in
1.9 as well.
fashion.
He ran 1.8 as well. Look,
I hope.
And he wasn't beaten all that far in the Cox Plate. Waratah's Secret has been racing super this prep, including a win the Group 3, beat Grand Nirvana. Billy Pike to ride, 16 starts, 6 wins. He's won 3 from 3 this prep. This got him by, it's a very impressive. Solid, he's $13. This is the horse I like. Lucky Grey got him by Bradbury's Luck, so that's where he gets the grey from. He's 3 from 3 this prep. He won a 2 benchmark 70-40. He's remarkable. 5 at the 550, but he's been rock steady at that quote for a while. King Carpool, it's 12 out to $13. Now, Lucky Grey, solid move here, 550 into 440.
Then came Lucky Grey, who's back there in the second half of the field. Over on the inside, Battle Emblem going along past the 900 from Spacecraft, and then Kincaple, and last of all, Tranquility. 800 metres left to go. The Railway Stakes field now being led by Rocky Range, who's gone to the lead. Rocky Range 3/4 on Mega Steel. 2 lengths away, then a Venus on the inside of West River, Kevy Don. A length and a half away at the 600 to Big Ted. Then came He's Remarkable back on the inside. Waratah Secret dropped out quickly there, dropped back underneath the neck of Ranger. Ranger copped a very bad check coming to the turn. Around the outside, Playing God, King Cool Cat, Lucky Grey looking for a short way home. Lord's Ransom's got right up near the fence. In the straight, Mega Steel joined by West River, Kevy Don. He's Remarkable. The Kiwi, though, he's starting to fly on the outside. He's Remarkable, sent to the lead by McAvoy. He gapped them, races away. Lucky Grey giving chase. He's finishing brilliantly. He's Remarkable. Lucky Grey flying, but He's Remarkable. The New Zealander wins the Railway. He's Remarkable, beat Lucky Grey, who finished brilliantly. 4 lengths behind them, either West River, Kevy Don, or close up, Waratah Secret. He looked to have gone amiss before the turn. Not sure what happened, but he's come again to be in the photo. King 88. Lucky Grey, the Western Australian, was finishing brilliantly. But He's Remarkable, prepared by Roger James, no stranger to Group 1 success, and neither the... Wins the Carlton Draft Railway Stakes. Second is 11, Lucky Grey.
There's Smith's thought there's a meaning that Lucky Grey should now be the winner of the Railway Stakes. That's it.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Grey, your winner, $4.50, $2. He's Remarkable. It is Remarkable, $1.90. West River, Kevy Don.
Look, I've got no doubt the best horse won the Railway Stakes. The question has to be asked, was the right decision made? We'll debate that. I think it looks to me Karen's come off the fence half a horse.
Well,
and the other,
that's Karen in the
turn here.
Well, hang, that's Karen in the red. All right, and the horse. See the horse going down in the blue. He gets jammed between Marco Chu on the outside and Karen McAvoy on the inside there, and that's where the interference.
That Karen McAvoy did plead guilty to
That's
a
right.
charge of careless riding, allowing his mount to shift outwards, passing the 600-metre mark.
Well, that's the point that stewards can argue with. They say, well, he's pleaded guilty to the charge, and point taken. But I still think there was enough doubt about that to be a little bit dirty about that.
So
Galloped on from that horse that clipped one of those horses. And obviously, there's no evidence of that.
Now, Andrew, Ronnie is exactly right here. I wouldn't have upheld this protest if I was a steward, merely because there are too many variables here. There are too many.
Do you agree with the decision?
Yes.
Richard?
No, I wouldn't have upheld it.
Ronnie?
No.
Andrew? You're 50-50. I think they should have upheld it.
No, I'm not 50-50. You asked me a question and I responded to what the participants
What's
had
your
said.
opinion? Uphold or not uphold? You're the steward.
I'm sitting on the fence.
Surprise. I've got to work with these people.
And it's the favourite of the tote and will be favoured on all three totes because A, she's in good form. B, 240 and the 210 back at the 215. Ortensia, she's a very good man.
Touch, 750 to go. It's Word in front by a length. Rarefied's gone up running second now. Then came Eliotto back on the inside of Avanti. Ortensia's just behind the running fifth at the 600 for Your Eyes Only, followed then by Kid Schwarzier. A length away to Morant, had to be Clorkers back on the fence. Then came Grand Nirvana and Ego's Dare. Elusive Touch is last on the turn. As they'd straightened at the 400, it's Word around the bend in front. McAvoy now goes on Rarefied. Rarefied heads him. 2 lengths behind them, Avanti. Eliotto's on the rails. Hortensia's beginning to wind up. It's Rarefied, but Word kicks. Word again regains the lead. Rarefied comes again, and here's Ortensia now and flying Grand Nirvana. Ortensia reaches the lead. It's 2 wins in the Winterbottom for the great mare. Hortensia, first Group 1 win for her, and she scored from Grand Nirvana. Now, third Rarefied's there. Down the outside, Elusive Touch, and old had to be Clorker also stuck his head into the action. And after having the Group 1 Galaxy taken from her on protest, isn't there some synergy surrounding this win?
And Craig Williams at the moment. Ortensia winning her first Group 1, the Winterbottom Stakes, a race she won when it was a Group 2 back in 2009. Now under the care of Paul Massara.
Williams at the top of his game. This mare probably a class above these horses and, you know, only had to be given the right run. But having
First of the international races, it is Navars. Let's go trackside and see what transpires. They're a couple of minutes past start time. Dunedin 290, the New South Wales, on course 620. Campanologist.
Redwood going to third on the outside of Campanologist, and Campanologist is sticking right to the heels of Jackalbury. Mr. Medici over on the fence, then Dunedin in the nose roll on the outside of Silver Pond. Sarah Link starting a run, turning out of the back. She's inching closer. Thumbs Up's come away from the fence, then Red Cadeau Vadamar. Trailblazers shuffle back to second last, and Super Saturn's at the rear. Down the side of the course now, and Jackalbury still with his neck in front from Mighty High. Redwood's been 3 wide the trip around Campanologist, Mr. Medici. Dunedin sweating on a run now, followed by Silver Pond, just getting shuffled back a bit as they turn, and Thumbs Up's extending to the outside. Jackalbury at the 400, 3/4 to Mighty High. Campanologist plotting, Thumbs Up's running on. Dunedin with a split between them. Red Cadeau winds up, and Super Saturn as well. Jackalbury under siege. Thumbs Up hits the lead. Thumbs Up a length clear. Dunedin back to the inside. Campanologist can't get there. Dunedin goes to Thumbs Up, and Red Cadeau, and the Melbourne Cup winner Dunedin pulls away for Craig Williams. Beats Thumbs Up. Silver Pond rattled home late in a photo for third with Red Cadeau. Campanologist had his chance. Then Trailblazer. Further back to Jackalbury. Super Saturn, Vadamar deep from Redwood, and Mr. Medici second last. Sarah Lynx has pulled up badly. Sarah Lynx has pulled up short. Dunedin takes out the vase. Well, the first Melbourne Cup winner to win a Group 1 here in Hong Kong in Dunedin, well positioned by Craig Williams.
Just up for the third placing, but Dunedin, excellent. It's taking out the Cathay Pacific Hong Kong vase.
Is at $8.80 and work the room. Best of the others at $10. 1,200 metres is the journey of this benchmark 90 handicap.
Three deep on the outside. He'll gnaw the hell out of this leader in a minute. They're followed by Silvern, Paddy's mate, Captain Clayton getting back from Lucky Luna and work the room on the outside. Going to the 700 metres mark and Celtic Dancer, 2 Audacious Spirit, 1 Girl Hustler. Excellente setting fourth on the inside, getting a good run, followed by Paddy's mate. Captain Clayton next on the inside of Silvern, followed by Work the Room and Lucky Luna. Into the straight to the 400, Celtic Dancer, the leader from Audacious Spirit, coming up on the outside. Excellente is about to ease around them and get in the clear now, and Girl Hustler just drops off enough to let it out, and here comes Excellentes. Audacious Spirit led up the 200, Excellentes, and here's the stable mate. Look at Work the Room coming from the tail. Audacious Spirit, Excellentes, Work the Room is absolutely rocketing down the outside. We'll bowl them all over. Work the Room got up and beat Excellentes and Audacious Spirit. It's a photo fourth between Captain Clayton and is about to ease around them and get in the clear now, and Girl Hustler just drops off enough to let it out, and here comes Excellentes. Audacious Spirit led up the 200, Excellentes, and here's the stable mate. Look at Work the Room coming from the tail. Audacious Spirit, Excellentes, Work the Room is absolutely rocketing down the outside. We'll bowl them all over. Work the Room got up and beat Excellentes and Audacious Spirit. It's a photo fourth between Captain Clayton and Celtic Dancer. The next time in the race was Lucky Luna Hustler. What did Robert Heathcote say before the race? It was 1400. He'd prefer Work the Room over Excellentes. He just didn't know whether it would be far enough for him. Well, far enough it was.
No.
But Silky Smooth runs to the lead. It's a good tempo early. And at the 1,000, she Cat, a length and a half Costa in the Glendon Muir field, followed by King Carnage and Rebel Truces at the end of the field as they came down the side at a very fast gallop. And Silky Smooth is being joined by Reassert before the turn. Adams Bell 2 lengths away, 1.5 to Guru Bob, 2 to Josimar within about 6 of the leader from Rob Rick running a good race first up from a long spell. And then I'm a Shadow, Costa in the Glens pulled to the outside and Muirfield's on his back. Rebel Truces still well back and King Carnage one of the last. Silky Smooth at the 400 by 2 lengths to Adams Bell. Reassert boxing on in the middle. Bossy starting to wind. Josimar up down the outside and Costa in the Glen is the widest runner and he's coming very quickly. Costa in the Glen. He raced to Josimar and Adams Bell. Josimar, Adams Bell. Costa in the Glen still coming on the outside. 3-way go. Costa in the Glen grabbed them on the post and won it by a half a head to either Adams Bell or Josimar for the Miners. I'm a Shadow and Muirfield is towards the tail end.
The big fellow Costa in the Glen, Jamie Mott, 2 for the day, 2 rides, 2 wins, unbeaten Jamie Mott. And this horse loving the big stretches here, Hillside. That's 2 for 2 for this horse also at Hillside. And he wins, he nails Adams Bell. And
Shadow and Muirfield is towards the tail end.
The big fellow Costa in the Glen, Jamie Mott, 2 for the day, 2 rides, 2 wins, unbeaten Jamie Mott. And this horse loving the big stretches here, Hillside. That's 2 for 2 for this horse also at Hillside. And he wins, he nails Adams Bell. And